All right, what's going on, guys? How you all doing? My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ. Hopefully, you're all having yourselves a very fantastic Tuesday night. We got a back-to-back Sixers taking on the Brooklyn Nets in Game 1 of this traveling back-to-back. The Sixers are at the Barclay Center tonight, and then tomorrow night at 7:30, they take on the Memphis Grizzlies at home at the WFC. And two good matchups. Unfortunately, tonight, Tyrese Maxey's not in the lineup. If you remember correctly, he was taken into the locker room during the last game because he actually ended up hitting his head right on one of the players' ankles, and he got tested out for concussion protocol, and he ended up returning for the game. But tonight, he is out because, due to concussion protocols, and hopefully he'll be back soon. I think that the Sixers are just doing this as something that's just, precautionary and that type of a thing. So we hope that he can recover and that he'll be back sooner rather than later. But yeah, this is another big game tonight for the Sixers. They're trying to stay out of the play-in tournament. And if we take a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now, I'm actually going to pull this up for you all really quickly. So, all right, where is it? Here we go. Nope, that's not it. That's the wrong one. There we go. All right, so here are the standings. So that way you guys can see everything right here. And we can crop this. Probably should have just had this pulled up a little bit earlier, but okay. We're playing on. That's what we do. Where is it? Oh, I gotta scroll down, sorry. So here are the standings. All right, so the Bucks currently have the first spot in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics have the first spot in the Eastern Conference, and then after that, it's the Milwaukee Bucks. I probably shouldn't have cropped this. I forgot it's a window capture. So we can do this and then that. All right, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're a game behind the Bucks. They're 39-21, as you guys can see. The Knicks, the Sixers, the Magic, the Heat, and the Pacers all so close between the 4th and the 8th seed. The Sixers are half a game behind the Knicks. They're half a game above the Magic, and they currently have the 5th seed. And the Pacers are 2 games behind the Sixers, and Miami is just 1 game behind the Sixers. So that is the standings update right now for the Philadelphia 76ers. The lineups are out, and the Sixers, they're starting 5. Remember, no Tyrese Maxey tonight, so it'll be Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, Cam Payne, Tobias Harris, and Mo Bamba out there for Philadelphia. And for Brooklyn, it'll be Schroeder, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton. All out there. We're cutting in and out. It might just be your Wi-Fi. Or am I actually cutting in and out? Please comment down below if you guys are having the same problems. If that is happening, I do apologize. How does our audio sound? Can I get a mic check? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Anybody? Comment in the chat down below. So again, the Sixers lineup, it's Hield, Harris, Bamba, Payne, and Lowry. And for the Nets, it's Johnson, Finney-Smith, Claxton, Bridges, and Schroeder that are all out there for the Brooklyn Nets. Sixers playing at the Barclay Center tonight. Bamba going at it against Nick Claxton. JJ, you are cutting in and out, but now it's better. Okay. That's a little bit odd. And tip-off is underway, and Claxton's able to win the tip-off for the Brooklyn Nets. So there is Dorian Finney-Smith, who will hand it off to Claxton once again. And the little runner up by Johnson is up, and that's no good. And Harris gets the rebound. Sixers underway. They're going from right to left, that is. From left to right. And the Brooklyn Nets are going from right to left. Buddy Hield on a drive to the basket. He'll just bounce pass it to Bamba. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Bamba with a little baby hook. That's up and in with the left hand. Good job by him to just go up against his defender as he was able to get that little bucket to go. Anybody else notice that if we're having any sort of technical difficulties, if we're cutting in and out, please comment down below. Payne with a little jumper. That's up and that's good. It was a catch and shoot as he let it fly from downtown from the far wing. And it's 5-2 Philadelphia. The thing about the Sixers, what they really have to do tonight without Tyrese Maxey, is they really have to try to notice or try to get some scoring underway. All right, so we are cutting out. We are cutting out. Is that what you're saying? Huh. 5-2 Sixers. Bamba on a drive puts that one up and puts that one in. Still cutting in and out. Hopefully it'll get fixed. Far away and panned in the direction. Snowman, am I cutting in and out? That's my question. I'm not even focusing on the play-by-play right now. We have a three-pointer that's up, and that's good by Mikal Bridges. It's 7-5. I still am focusing on the play-by-play, but I'm more worried about the audio. All right, Campaign will get it over at the top of the key, and they'll dribble over towards the right side. Here's Buddy Hield on a little bounce pass back out to Kyle Lowry for a far corner three. Nails it. It's 10-5 as, again, the Sixers go from left to right, and the Nets are going from right to left. 9:35 left to go in the first quarter. Brooklyn with Dennis Schroeder out there with a no-look pass, and that's going to go out for a far corner three. That's off the mark. Johnson comes up with a rebound, and the three-pointer again by Dorian Finney-Smith is off the mark once again. Still 10-5. 9:15 left to go in the first quarter. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and we have a whistle called. It'll be against the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, I'm going to go to a break because I'm going to test out my audio. Snowman says smooth so far, but I'm going to test it out, so I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Yeah, our audio's good. It's just on both of your ends, so the audio's fine. It's 10-5 Sixers. 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. No Ben Simmons tonight. No Cam Thomas either for the Brooklyn Nets. Here's Buddy Hield on the catch and shoot three on the near corner. Nails it. The Sixers have been able to dominate from beyond the arc, and they lead it by 8, and now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Kevin Ollie, who took over for Jacques Vaughn during the middle of the season after the trade deadline for the Brooklyn Nets. He was the assistant head coach and now is just bumped up to the head coach. And we'll call a timeout. Brooklyn down by 8. The Sixers lead it 13-5 with 8:30 remaining in the first quarter. What's up, Darth Pooh? I haven't seen you on here in a while, man. JJ, it's fine here. Okay, cool. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, now we can zoom out here, and we can put this stuff back up. So, yeah, final score predictions, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Final score predictions on this game down below. My prediction is I'm going to say Sixers win 107-91. 107-91 is my final score prediction. So, Darth says we're going to sneak a huge win tonight by 15. Sneak against this Brooklyn Nets team? I don't know if sneak is the right word. When I think about sneak one out, I'm thinking about, beating a very good team where you're the underdog. I don't think the Sixers are the underdog in this game, even without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. But that's just me. But you think that the Sixers are going to win. I do too. No JoJo, no Max, with Toby barely being who he is. But see, the thing is that Kyle Lowry and the rest of the team, they're just they should beat this team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The odds for the Sixers coming into today, actually the line the line did favor Brooklyn. How about that? By about half a point, huh? That's the flip of a coin. But the Sixers have also won 2 games in a row, and yes, Tyrese Maxey did play in both of them. I guess I just don't. I still think that they should just beat this team. That's just where I am, huh? So, but ESPN agrees with you. It's crazy. 122-91. Yep, Philly was the underdog today. Not by much, but yeah, they were the under. That's what you said. I can't put words into your mouth. Can't do that. All right. So it's 13-5. No Day'Ron Sharpe either for Brooklyn. He is also out tonight as well. The Nets just called a timeout. Buddy Hield just made a 3 before the timeout was called. And Hield has been pretty cold shooting-wise from beyond the arc for the Sixers. And maybe this is a game where he can sort of right the ship, if you will. All right, so the Sixers have to play defense. Cam Johnson gets it off of a bounce pass by Mikal Bridges from the near wing, or from the far wing to the near wing, and he nailed it. Nailed the 3, but there was a lot of contact made, and he went tumbling towards the deck. And he'll go to the line for one more. Right? Or will he? They didn't signal a foul, but he's holding on. Yep. There was no foul called, nothing. He just landed really awkwardly on that left, or on that right foot, it looked like. Lowry was supposed to play defense on him, and Johnson got him to buy on a little pump fake, and Lowry came back to him, and he made some contact with him, but there was no shooting foul called. He really just landed a little bit awkwardly. And now they're going to review this to see if there indeed was a foul. And Cam Johnson goes over towards the sideline. So Jalen Wilson comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. This is revealed as an official review. So 8:20 left to go in the first quarter. Johnson is walking, so that is good. He was over at the top of the key. And the refs are just looking things over at the replay review center. Tonight's refs, speaking of the refs, it's Curtis Blair. He's the crew chief. J.B. DeRosa is the referee. And Jonathan Sterling is the umpire in tonight's game. Again, in case you're just tuning in, the Sixers, they lead it by 5. It's 13-8. And yes, he is right. Darthu is right. He did hit his knee. Now he's actually tying his left shoe. So they took off the headsets, and now all 3 refs gather around in front of the scorer's table, and they're trying to come up with a decision here. It was, again, this is not a challenge. This is just an initiated review, and the call stands. All right, so it'll just be a 3-pointer, and the Sixers should, Kyle Lowry did get called for a shooting foul. See, they were so late on that call, and I was a little bit confused as to why. They didn't initially rule it as a shooting foul according to the ESPN app. I didn't see a ref signal if there was a foul or not, so that was a little bit confusing, but they did signal that Kyle Lowry did commit a shooting foul. Lowry's a little confused, but it'll be a 4-point opportunity as Johnson hit the 26-footer, and he'll go to the line for one more. So it's 13-8 with 8:20 left to go. Sixers playing in their third game this season against the Brooklyn Nets. Last time both teams played, it was on February 3rd, where Ben Simmons actually returned to his old team's home at the Wells Fargo Center, and the Nets were able to tie the season series 1-1. They would win that game 136-121. The 4-point opportunity is good as Cam Johnson hits the foul shot. Lowry with a dribble handoff to Harris over on the near corner. Harris dribbles it over towards the paint, puts up a 2, and that's good. Harris just dribbled right through traffic and was able to hit a 7-foot jumper. It's 15-9. Sixers lead by 6. 7:50 remaining in quarter number 1. Mikal Bridges, step back, jumper, puts it up. The basketball gods say no, and Bamba corrals the miss. And he hands it off to Lowry. Lowry standing at the logo. Pick and roll offense. Kicks it out to Oubre. Thought he was going to do a little alley-oop pass to Bamba, but Oubre goes from the near corner all the way to the cup and finishes with the left hand. Kyle Lowry with a little bit of some misdirection as Bamba was just rolling towards the paint and tried to go to the hoop, but Lowry just decided, you know what, I'm just going to kick it out all the way to Oubre, and Oubre got the bucket to go as he drove it to the basket. Cam Johnson with a little runner puts that one up, and he puts it in. It's 17-11, and the Sixers lead it by 6. Bamba gets the dribble handoff, and Kelly Oubre Jr. gets called. Actually, Kyle Lowry got called for the offensive foul. Oubre did have the ball, but there was an illegal screen set. It was an offensive foul. And now Batum will step in for Mo Bamba. And Buddy Hield will also take a quick seat as well. Lonnie Walker IV, former San Antonio Spur and former LA Laker, comes in for Cam Johnson. And Dennis Smith Jr. will sub on in for Dennis Schroeder. And that's a tongue twister. Both of them have the initials of DS. Wow. Bridges trying to kick it out for a near corner 3. That's up, and that's no good. That was actually a near wing 3 by Jalen Wilson. Lowry got the rebound. Lowry conducting the offense here. Lob pass to the post to Tobias Harris. Harris on the low block, draws up the double team, and finds Lowry rolling to the basket. He'll kick it out to Oubre for a near wing 3. No. And the rebound goes into the hands of Nick Claxton. Again, Brooklyn operating from right to left. Alley-oop pass from Smith Jr. to Claxton, and that duo just clicked right there and now make it a 4-point lead for the Sixers as they just cut the lead down. Lowry with a turnover, and there's a whistle. I couldn't tell what happened. I wasn't paying. I think that the screen froze for a very, very quick second. But Dorian Finney-Smith will come on in for Nick Claxton. So 3 turnovers by the Sixers, 2 on Kyle Lowry. He got called for the travel. And Lonnie Walker IV will try to take it right to the cup. So Walker IV has to dribble it back out and pass it out to Bridges. Bridges all the way towards the near side. Smith Jr. over at the foul line with a bounce pass towards number 28. And he puts that one up and he puts that one in. So that is Dorian Finney-Smith that is able to just muster his way through. And he got a little 2-pointer to go. 6-0 run by Brooklyn. Oubre trying to go coast to coast. Can't get the layup to go. And once again, Finney-Smith with the second straight defensive rebound in a row. Smith Jr. on a drive to the basket, puts it up and in, and gets fouled. He made it on the right side of the baseline and got it with the right hand. And Brooklyn looking to go out in front and try to take an 18-17 lead. But before that, timeout called by the Sixers. And it's tied 17-17 with 5:21 left to go in the opening quarter. Travel, come on, bro. What's up, Darth Pooh? Man, I haven't seen you on here in a while. What's going on, man? Thanks so much for popping on. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We're on for every single Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles game. Comment your final score predictions if you're just tuning in, Starpoo says that I'm living the dream. Love that answer. Cool. Nice. Good stuff. All right, we're going to take another sip of water. Need to get a hold of you and discuss some OBS software. Dude, you can always DM me on Discord. You know? You can always reach out to me. If you guys have, like, any questions about anything streaming-wise, look, I'm an open book, right? I always like helping out other content creators and people that want to get involved in this game. Or if you have any other critiques or anything else like that, please email me at jasonjosephonair@gmail.com or reach out to me on Discord. You can follow me on my LINKTREE, and all that stuff should be posted up on there. So, again, just follow Play-by-Play with JJ on the LINKTREE. We'll get that up. Where is it? What I need to do, I guess, is try to come up with a way to make it easier for you guys to, or for the bot to recognize my socials. I don't know why it's not coming up on here. Feel free to like and subscribe. That's not the one. It's not the one that I wanted. Let's try socials. Try that as a command. Is that going to work? No? We're still learning. We're still learning, man. What we could do is we could copy and paste the LINKTREE. We could do that. Okay. Just a little extra step. Again, here's the socials. All right? There you go. We'll replace the pinned message. So, yeah, follow me on the socials. Get more involved with the community. Get more involved with the channel. One more sub till we get to 1,770 subscribers. All right. So, Sixers are tied 17-17 with the Brooklyn Nets. They were doing good. They actually had a 13-5 lead, and ever since then, Brooklyn has went on a they've won on a 12-4 run. An 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes, and that foul shot is no good. So the three-point opportunity by Dennis Smith Jr., he could not capitalize. There's Harris over on the near elbow. Harris will try to posterize his defender and go up with a little turnaround jumper. Can't get it, though. Offensive rebound by Paul Reed, and he puts that one back up and in. And Philadelphia retakes the lead. They're up by 2. It's 19-17. With 4:45 left in the first quarter, a catch-and-shoot three-pointer is up and good by Lonnie Walker IV. He hit it from the far wing. That was from the left wing. And again, Sixers going from left to right. Payne, little lob pass, or actually it was a little floater. Thought it was going to be a little lob pass, but it was not. 21-20 as he got the floater to go. 4:20 left in the first quarter. Sixers answered back with a bucket of their own. So, again, there's a three-point shot. That one's up, and that one is in by Dorian Finney-Smith. So they just continue to answer back. Sixers not doing a good job at closing out on the shooters. A 14-4 run over the last 3 minutes. The Sixers have some good ball movement here on the offensive side. And we have a whistle. It's actually a kickball violation on Mikal Bridges. The lineup out there for the Sixers right now, we'll get that to you. So it's Tobias Harris, Cam Payne, Nick Batum, Paul Reed, and Kelly Oubre Jr. And the Nets have Dorian Finney-Smith, Mikal Bridges, and then you have Trendon Watford and Jalen Wilson and Dennis Smith Jr. Harris catches, shoots off the dribble. Puts that one up, can't get it to go, though. Mikal Bridges comes up with his miss and works over in Brooklyn territory. Bridges on a drive past Oubre. Could not get the finish. He needed one more move. Oubre got the rebound. Outlet pass to Tobias Harris. And he'll dribble around the timeline. Harris being guarded by Finney-Smith. He's trapped. He needs help. And he'll kick it out to Payne. 10 on the shot clock. Payne wants to draw up Finney-Smith on him. Anola pass to Oubre on the near wing. He tries to go into the lane, puts up a shot, can't get it. Reed got the rebound. And we have a whistle called as Reed tried to go up with a little shot. And the Nets did get the defensive rebound. And I guess that we have a foul called on the Sixers, and that's why Nick Nurse is not so happy. Well, Oubre, it looked like that there was some contact with the hand. Maybe it was a clean block from this angle coming up here. It was. So Reed got called for a loose ball foul, and that's what the call was. It looked like it was really slight. They didn't show a replay of that. They just showed a replay of Oubre's attempt. So Cam Johnson comes in for Michael Bridges. Watford on a drive to the basket. Puts that one up with the right hand. Can't get it. Gets an offensive rebound by Finney-Smith. There's a three as he'll kick it out to Wilson, and Wilson misses. Oubre, defensive rebound. Outlet pass to Harris. Harris back to Oubre. Oubre's on the near wing. Lost his dribble. Harris picks it up. He'll kick it out to Payne on the far wing for a three. He was wide open, and he couldn't get it. The Sixers have had the looks and now have been pretty cold ever since the first timeout was called by Brooklyn. They got the rebound. It's in Brooklyn territory. 2:30 left to go in the first quarter once again. Smith Jr. passes it and finds Jalen Martin. Martin back to Smith Jr., who steps back, has to put up a three with 5 on the clock, and it was way off the mark, didn't even hit the rim. Payne got the long rebound. Payne finding Reed in the post, puts up a shot, he's fouled. Good job by Payne to just be the little conductor and the maestro, if you will, as he found Reed down on the block and was double-teamed, and Reed just was trying to be as aggressive as he possibly could, but he got fouled. It was a personal foul on Dennis Smith Jr., and now Dennis Schroeder will come back in for Smith Jr., and Lonnie Walker IV will be the replacement for Jalen Wilson. The other substitution made is Claxton for Finney-Smith. Oubre gets it off the pass by Batum, and Oubre's shot is up. It's good, and one. Lonnie Walker IV fouled him in the act of shooting, and Kelly Oubre Jr. will try to give the Sixers the lead once again. We'll think it was a 3-on-2 offensive zone that they tried to run. Batum got it on the far wing and just passed it out to Oubre, who was at the elbow, and he got the runner to go. Cannot convert on the foul shot as it bounced twice, hit the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and bounced over towards the left side, rebounded by Brooklyn. 1:55 remaining in the first quarter. Schroeder, the veteran, hands it off to Cam Thomas. Thomas back out to Walker, the fourth for three. In and out it goes from the near wing. Harris with the board. Oubre trying to reward Harris for a three. Puts it up and puts it in. Sixers lead it by 3, and Tobias Harris trying to pick up where he left off over the last 2 games. Johnson gets it. No look pass back outside to Watford. Schroeder trying to pass it. It's intercepted by Batum, and we have a foul called on Walker IV. Is it going to be a transition foul? That's the question, because Batum just intercepted it right away. A guy that had 3 steals in his last game and played very solid defense. He also had 10 rebounds and 7 points, or actually 11 rebounds. 1:24 remaining in the first quarter. I think it was just a personal foul. Right now in the ESPN app, it just says foul. But Kyle Lowry will come in for Payne. Paul Reed will also take a seat. Sixers again lead it by 3. Tarpoo says, nice drive by Oobs. Yes. 1:15 left to go, so it was just a personal foul. Buddy Hield will come in for Paul Reed. Oubre gets it off the pass by Lowry. Oubre would try to drive it towards the lane, puts it up with the left hand, and he's fouled again. The one thing about Kelly Oubre Jr. in that last game that he played against Dallas on Sunday was that he was ice cold throughout the first 2/3 of the game, I would say. And then at about the 2-minute mark in the third quarter, after going 1 for 8 from the field, well, he just took over and was very assertive. And he made 6 out of 7 free throws and was able to put up about 22 points. Oubre's first foul shot, he's able to drain it. It's nothing but net, and the Sixers have a 27-23 lead. 1:09 remaining in the opening quarter. We have some other games going on, a lot of other games going on tonight. Orlando and Charlotte, that's in halftime. Boston and Cleveland, that game's on TNT. Detroit is losing by 8 to Miami, and that is towards the end of the first quarter. And Atlanta in New York taking on the Knicks. Atlanta leads it by 15 points. Oubre gets the second foul shot to go. Unfortunately for the Knicks, they lost Jalen Brunson in their Sunday night matchup, and that was a tough loss for them as they played against Cleveland. So the Nets have not scored a field goal over the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Brooklyn trying to get it on a little drive by Walker, and he loses it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Sixers ball. Harris will try to find Lowry, and Harris overthrows it. Harris was over on the far wing, over towards the left side. And, well, he had to pass it to Lowry, and it was too far over the Lowry's left, and it went out of bounds towards the near sideline. 4 steals for the Sixers, four turnovers, that is, and 2 turnovers for Brooklyn. Bridges over at the foul line will lob it inside to Watford, and he'll tip it back out. 3 on the shot clock, as there's a half-court prayer that goes up, and that's no good. It actually didn't even hit the rim. So Keita Bates-Diop, who just came in, had to go up with a prayer over at the Barclay Center sign near the half-court logo. It took about 3 seconds. He was actually just standing there and waiting. I don't know why, but the Sixers, they'll take it. 27.8 seconds on the game clock and 23 on the shot clock. Lowry going up against Schroeder. They've had their battles. They were also former teammates in Toronto. A dribble handoff to Oubre. Oubre at the foul line. He wants to get going over Watford, and he has his way as he cuts through the lane and gets the left-handed finger roll finish to fall. 30-23, Schroeder with 5 seconds. Shot clock on blood, kicks it out for Thomas for 3. It's blocked by Batum. Thomas gets it back, puts it up, and he can't get it. So Nick Batum is able to just swat the basketball away and play some really good defense. And we go into quarter number 2. Philadelphia leads it by 7 points, 30-23. Good start by the Sixers. Darbu says, I'm doing my part. 14 thumbs up. Guys, if you are new to the channel, my name is Jason Joseph. We do play-by-play for the Sixers, for the Phillies, and for the Eagles on here. If you guys really do enjoy this content, make sure that you comment down below and hit that thumbs up button. The backstory is that I'm from South Jersey. I went to Rowan University. I graduated in the spring of 2022, and have just been really trying to put out a lot of content on here, trying to grow a family on here, trying to grow a brand, and really just, playing the gamble game and trying to make it into the business as a sports broadcaster. So cool. You guys hit that thumbs up button, and you guys hit that subscribe button. That's awesome. How's everybody's day going so far? Comment down below one thing positive that happened to you today. What was something positive that happened to me today? What was something positive that happened to me today? I think that something that I'm really trying to do more of is I'm really trying to take better care of myself in regards to my health. So just focusing more on like doctor's appointments and that type of thing. And I think that that's something that is actually a positive that I took from today. Just focusing more on my personal health and taking care of my body, because you only get one of those. So that's a positive that I took out of today. But how about you? Hot in Houston today. It's 88 degrees. Wow, it's 88 degrees there. That's pretty hot. I'm listening to Play-by-Play with JJ. That's definitely a positive. That's true. You can't go wrong with that answer. I laugh because I was thinking about like my grandma today. She's been gone for 9 years. Well, it'll be the 9th year this year, but yeah, she's been gone for at least 8 years. And the thing about her was that she was always very funny, but she always spoke the truth. There were always truths within her jokes, and that's something that she would say. So that's why I was laughing, even though it's really funny anyways. All right, so the Sixers, they go back out there to start off the second quarter. The shots missed as they ended up getting the ball. They lost the tip-off. That's why. Turnover by the Nets, and Lowry comes up with the steal. So Lowry, Oubre, Harris, Batum, and Hield all out there for the Sixers. Hield's two-point shot is up, and he can't get it to go. It was actually blocked by the Nets. Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Schroeder, Watford, and Bates Diop all out there for Brooklyn. 11 minutes to go in the opening half. Schroeder hands it off to Watson. Watson finds a shot that goes up, and that's no good by Trendon Watford. Watford getting a lot of minutes because Day'Ron Sharpe is not out there tonight. The Nets they have a lot of injuries, including Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, and Day'Ron Sharpe. It's 33-23. Oubre was the one that was able to hit the shot. And we have a foul called. So it's 33-23. Let's refresh this. All right. So Johnson will inbound it for Brooklyn, as there was a personal foul on Batum. Lowry actually just made a pull-up three, so I forgot to mention that. That's how it's 33-23. And Batum, who just got called for the foul. We have another whistle. It's on KJ Martin as he tried to just slice the basketball away from his opponent. And that was Wilson. All right, it's 8:13 p.m. Eastern Time. The Sixers have done a pretty good job on the defensive side. Just so far in the second quarter, they've been committing some not so good fouls, some unnecessary fouls. Schroeder's going to go to the line because the foul was in the act of shooting, and Dennis is able to knock down free throw number one. Sixers have a couple of more players coming in. We'll get you names in just a few moments. But Dennis Schroeder has been a guy who has had a very, very solid career so far. He's averaging 13.5 points per game this season, 6 assists, and 2.8 rebounds. Misses the second foul shot. Gets the offensive rebound, though, at the foul line. 3-point shot by Cam Johnson. Too much mustard on that one. Oubre got the board. Here's Martin on a pass to Buddy Hield on the near wing, and Hield finds Martin, who will roll to the basket, and he gets the finger roll finish again. 35-24, Sixers have a double-digit lead with 10:10 remaining in the first half. Bridges will try to roll towards the rim, kicks it back out for a three-point shooter on the far wing by Wilson, and that's off the mark again. Goes out of bounds, and it goes underneath the baseline, and it'll be Sixers basketball. So Schroeder is 30 years old. He's 6'1", weighs 175 pounds. And, well, he's been in the NBA since 2013. He started off his career 5 seasons with the Atlanta Hawks and has been with 6 different teams since then. Oubre gets the dribble handoff. He'll find Hield, who cuts back towards the three-point line, and Buddy Hield has it going on. A near wing three that Buddy Hield is able to knock down. It's 38-24, and he's 2 for 2 from the three. 2 assists and 6 points for Buddy Hield, a guy that's been known as a sharp shooter. And they talked about this earlier on the NBC Sports app, or on NBC Sports Philadelphia, that he is actually second in threes made ever since the day after trade deadline day. And the guy that's first is Steph Curry. All right, so we have a timeout called by the Nets. 9:42 left to go in the second quarter. We're going to take a very quick step off. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back on here. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. The name's Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We're on here for every single Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles game. Phillies season starting up on March 28th. All right, and I am most likely going to be going to opening day, but we're still going to be casting the game. We'll just have to wait and see officially if I am going, but I'm most likely, I'd say 85% going, but we're still going to have the game on here and still provide you some play-by-play. All right, so here we go. After the Nets timeout, we have a runner that's up and no good. That was by Cam Thomas. And Lonnie Walker comes in for Cam Johnson. The Sixers have to play defense. We missed what happened because they were going to a replay package on the NBC Sports Philadelphia app, and the Sixers, they lost it, but Brooklyn lost it this time. Dennis Smith Jr. lost it out of bounds. So apologies about that. All right, Sixers have the basketball. It'll be Doughton Jr., who was just acquired by the Sixers. They got him from Toronto. A guy that played for the Raptors, 9:05. Three-point shot is off the mark by Kyle Lowry. He did not get the 24-footer. Wilson got the rebound, and that's Jalen Wilson. Lowry, Hield, Martin, Oubre Jr., and Doughton Jr. out there for the Sixers. 5 on the shot clock for Brooklyn. Walker, step back, far elbow jumper, too strong. Offensive rebound by Claxton, who puts it up and in. That was actually Watford that was able to get that one to go. So it's 38-26. The Sixers lead it by 12. Lowry trying to conduct the offense. Buddy Hield gets it at the top of the key. Will drive it in towards the lane. Too strong of a finish. KJ Martin grabs the rebound and throws it away. It's intercepted by Walker. He tried to find Kyle Lowry over at the top of the key, and Walker was able to just snipe it away like he was a cornerback. Here's Schroeder, who will kick it out as he was in the lane. Kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson back at the top of the key. And a three-pointer's up, and that's in off the hockey assist by Wilson. And Lonnie Walker IV again makes the Sixers pay. Walker IV is now 2 for 3 from way downtown. Has 6 points, and that's it. 8 minutes to go. Sixers with a 9-point lead. Hield to Lowry. They swing it around. The ball finds Oubre for a far wing 3, and he knocks it down. Kelly Oubre Jr. with 11 leading the Sixers in this game so far in the scoring department. 4 rebounds to go with it and 2 assists as well. Schroeder being guarded by KJ Martin, the son of Kenyon Martin. And now Doughton Jr. plays defense on Dennis Schroeder. A little pick and roll from Schroeder all the way to Wilson, and Wilson throws it down with a little alley-oop dunk. 41-31, 7:23 remaining in the opening half. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. Lowry finds Doughton Jr. again, who will just kick it out to Oubre. Oubre with a three-pointer from the top of the key, and it was just a little bit strong. Smith Jr. gets it. A little alley-oop pass that's intercepted by Lowry. Lowry with a lob pass to Doughton. Doughton one more to KJ Martin, who throws it down. In transition, Sixers lead by a dozen. Bad offensive possession by Brooklyn, and Lowry and the Sixers make the Nets pay. All of a sudden, though, Brooklyn gets a little bit of some slicing and dicing, if you will, as Smith Jr. had to pass it out to Wilson, and Wilson got the little runner to go in the lane. 43-33, 6:25 left. Lowry on the right side puts up a 3 from the far wing. No. And Claxton is able to grab rebound number 3. 4, 3, and 2 for Claxton. Walker, step back. Jay over or from beyond the foul line. Can't get the friendly bounce. And battered around by Oubre. Lowry lost it. It's stolen back by the Nets as Wilson got it. 4 and 6 for him, and that's his first assist. As the little dunk was made by Claxton, who was cutting in towards the rim and finished with a two-handed slam at the cup. And he was fouled as well. He'll earn his final point at the line for the old-fashioned three-point play on the shooting foul by Kyle Lowry. From behind him, too. the Sixers. Actually, Lowry that time probably should have just came up with the rebound, but there were some butterfingers and the ball slipped out of his hands, and unfortunately it just landed into the hands of, it looked like of a Schroeder. And now Dorian Finney-Smith will come in as Claxton got he was able to get the dunk, and then Lowry fouled him right from behind. Batum comes in for Lowry. Bamba takes a step out there for Oubre Jr. It's 43-35, 5:58 remaining in the first half. Claxton at the line, and he converts on the three-point opportunity. It's a 7-point ball game in Brooklyn at the Barclay Center. So Lowry trying to be very outspoken over on the Sixers bench. Doughton Jr. trying to conduct the offense. He's getting a lot of playing time because there's no Tyrese Maxey. Doughton Jr. tries to kick it out to Batum for a far corner three, and that's off the mark. He was wide open, just could not get it. He had the look too. Sixers trying to play defense on a little 3-2 zone, and that's up and no good by Claxton, and Claxton tried to get the rebound, but it went off the hands of a Sixer. And the Nets will still retain possession. 5:30 left in the second quarter. Claxton is trying to get hot. Yes, he is. This is the thing about Claxton. He's a very good rebounder. He's kind of like a Clint Capella type of a player where they call it a rim runner, where, if you have a point guard or somebody that can handle the rock like a Chris Paul, and just have somebody roll to the lane and finish with a lot of alley-oop dunks. That's what Claxton is so good at. Bamba gets called for a shooting foul, and Claxton will go to the charity stripe for two. He does knock the first one down. It's 43-38. They'll try to get the second one to go, too. Nice crowd at the Barclays Center. Wonder how many people are in attendance tonight. The second foul shot, that's good. 5:26 left to go. So the first foul shot made it a 43-37 game, and now it's 43-38. Sixers had another bad offensive possession off the turnover by Tobias Harris. There's a shot that's up, and that's no good. So Finney-Smith got the rebound. Here's Buddy Hield on the near side for the Sixers, as they'll bounce pass it back outside to Tobias Harris. Harris catches, shoots, puts up a three. Too much mustard on that one. And the board belongs to Dorian Finney-Smith. He's been really active on the glass tonight. Dribble handoffs from Walker to Claxton. Walker gets it back, dribbles around the timeline, step back jumper inside the foul line, got it. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game. A 17-13 run over the last 8 minutes or so. And actually, to be more precise, an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes. And Nick Nurse, before he has his offense go back out there, he wants to try to give everybody a little breather and just try to regroup. Man. Doughton Jr. not really playing so well out there for the Sixers. And, again, I know that you kind of have to go to him, but I don't know. I expected him to show a little bit more fight, but in this game so far, it's not really doing too much. It looks pretty small out there, playing defense, and a lot of guys are getting by him specifically. So that's not a good thing, but I'm happy that they're testing him out in this game because they don't really have a lot of options. They really don't. We have 16 people on here watching. 16 people on here watching. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button, guys. Now 17 people on here. If you guys want to contact me, feel free to email play-by-play with JJ. You can also reach out to me on social media platforms. I'm going to post the LINKTREE right now, so that way you guys have it. Here it is. And that's where you can follow me on all the socials. So right there, you guys have access to all of that. And there you go. 43-40. The Sixers, they started off strong and were shooting really well from three. They were actually on a 13-4 run to start off the game, and then Brooklyn tied it. It was 17-17. Kind of makes you think back to the last game that the Sixers played against Dallas. It was an 11-0 run to start off the first quarter of the game, and with 9:47 left to go in the first quarter, the Sixers would call their first timeout, and then they went on an 11-2 run. And then were able to just keep their foot on the gas pedal, and the miles were not on the tires. They just did a really good job at staying in cruise control since. But hopefully that does not come back and bite the Sixers in this game with the way things are going, because it seems like it's a pretty similar scenario, just not in the right direction. So, but Kelly Oubre Jr., 11 points for him as a game high for both teams. He's shooting 4 for 8 from the field. He has 4 boards, and he has 2 assists. He's been really good and a big spark plug off the Sixers bench, but he's been in the starting lineup tonight. I'm just saying in general, he's had his games where he's been really solid, and he's had his games where he just has not been the player that you would want to have out there, trying to rally the ball club. So, no rebounding tonight. That's a good point Grace Martinez brings up. The Sixers not doing a good job in that department, but part of the problem is Nick Claxton is really tall, and he is a very good rebounder. He's averaging 9.8 rebounds per game. And not to give any sort of excuses to the Sixers, but that's a problem when you don't have your best rebounder out there. Payne hands it off to Hield from near wing to far wing, and Hield's three-pointers off the mark, but we have a shooting foul called. It'll be against the Nets, and Buddy Hield's going to go to the line for 3 free throws. Mikal Bridges fouled him in the act of shooting, and this could help the Sixers a lot here. Buddy Hield has been a very good free throw shooter throughout his career, and this is a guy who spent his first part of his career with the Sacramento Kings, got to play with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox, and then was traded along with Tyrese Halliburton in the trade for Domantas Sabonis. That was a very good trade, and that happened back during the middle of the 2021-22 season. So, but he first actually started off his career in New Orleans during his rookie season. That was back in 2016, during the 2016-17 season, and then got traded at the deadline during the middle of that season. So the second foul shot is good. It's 46-40 now. And Brooklyn has the ball. So is that just 2 free throws? I guess, nope, it was 3 free throws. Okay, so he made all 3 of them. 46-40. Paul Reed comes into the game for the Sixers as well. Bridges had a bad pass. It was turned over by Cam Payne. Cam Payne got the steal. Buddy Hield from downtown, 24-footer off the mark, volleyballed into the hands of Watford. Watford fighting for the rebound. He has to throw it towards Walker. Walker out in transition, puts up a 3 from the far corner. Bullseye! Lonnie Walker IV, the last time that he played against the Sixers, he was absolutely magnificent from 3. More on that in just a few moments, but right now tonight he's 3 for 4 from downtown. Bad pass by the Sixers. It's stolen away by Watford, and he tries to go up with a shot, and he could not get it. He missed a bunny. Sixers dodge a bullet. Payne down low to Harris. Harris to Hield at the top of the key. Hield with a behind-the-back bounce pass to Batum. Batum almost lost his dribble and has to bounce it again to Payne. Payne to Batum. Batum to Harris. 4 on the shot clock. Harris has to kick it out to Payne for a wide-open 3 from the top of the key. Too strong again. And it goes off the hands of Paul Reed. It goes out of bounds towards the Sixers baseline, and Brooklyn has the ball. So Cam Payne had a really bad pass. It was stolen by Dennis Smith Jr., and I stand corrected. Smith Jr. actually did make the layup. He thought about going to the rim for a dunk, and I thought that it just went out, but no, it did not. So it's 46-45 with 2:51 left to go in the second quarter. Brooklyn has the ball, and they could take the lead with a 2 or a 3 runner. It's a little short by Watford as Trendon misses the 11-foot little teardrop. Harris got the rebound, and he'll try to just take it to the top of the key. Working around Watford this time, puts up an elbow jumper, and he hits that one. They did not call an offensive foul as Watford got elbowed into the stomach. Whistles remained silent, but Harris got the 2, and the Sixers lead it by 3. 2.5 minutes remaining in the opening half as the Sixers go from left to right, and the Nets have it. They're going from right to left. 5 on the clock. Walker on a drive. He missed it. Good defense by the Sixers. Harris stops on a dime and finds Batum. Back to Lowry on the far wing at the three-point line. Lowry has to pass it out. He needs help. Bouncer all the way to Harris, who got the little skip pass, and the ball gets tipped out of bounds towards the Sixers sideline. 9 on the shot clock and 2:02 left in the first half. More substitutions coming the Sixers' way. Harris did a really good job at just, on the last offensive play, doing a good job at just elbowing his defender and making a big two-pointer just at the foul line extended. Harris inbounds it to Reed, who will find Batum. Batum inside to Harris on the low block. Harris being double-teamed, puts up a shot, can't get it. And thought he was fouled. Was not, though. Rebound goes to Brooklyn. It's 4-on-2 basketball. Schroeder for 3 on the far wing, and he puts it up, and he's fouled for 3 free throws. He did not make the shot, but he'll try to go to the line for 3 free throws, and him and Lowry are chirping back and forth, and they have to be separated. No sort of physical contact between the both of them, but they are just in each other's faces. And that's what happens when two former teammates go against each other. Just chirping back and forth. And Payne has to back up Lowry, saying, "You're okay. I got your back." 1:46 remaining in the second quarter as they get separated, and free throws coming up in just a few moments. That was the right call. Lowry did shove a little bit of some contact there, but even as Schroeder was on the ground, Lowry was just looking at him like, and just saying, "You got to get up, man. You got to get up. Like, what are you doing? I didn't foul you. This is my team. I'm playing defense for my team. What are you doing?" Schroeder at the line, puts the first one up, and he gets it. That's the type of basketball that you love to see, just some back and forth action with a lot of verbal trash talk and that type of stuff. That's what makes the game so cool. It adds a little bit of spectacle to it. Schroeder's second foul shot, that's good. And now it's a 1-point game. Kyle Lowry, who just committed the shooting foul, that's now his third personal, so he also has to be careful from that perspective. He has 6 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound, and there's been a big plus for the Sixers in this game. He's been their, you can make the argument, he's been their most important player. Tie game as Schroeder knocks down all 3 free throws, and we're locked in at 48. 1:41 remaining in the opening half. Harris to Batum over on the near elbow. Batum finds Reed on the far corner. He thought about taking the 3, decided not to. Watford was like, "Go ahead, shoot it." And Reed decided to just be assertive, and he took it right towards the cup, but he got fouled with 5 on the shot clock by Watford. Watford's defense has not been up to par tonight. He's actually 0 for 5 on the offensive side. He does have 5 rebounds. That's been the only thing that he has going on for him. But Reed will go to the charity stripe, and the first foul shot coming up to try to give the Sixers the lead. Here it is. And it's too strong. We'll get to Reed's foul shooting in just a few seconds. So he's averaging 6.7 points per game and about 5.6 rebounds to go with it. Second foul shot. He gets the friendly bounce. And I mean really friendly. Bounced about 3 times. Hit the front of the rim and then the back of the rim. Schroeder on a drive, loses it. It was pickpocketed by Lowry and stolen away by B-Ball Paul. And they're still going back and forth. Harris almost didn't anticipate the pass coming. It was a little dribble handoff by Reed. He'll take it right to the cup, finishes with the left hand, and the Sixers have a 3-point lead. 51-48 with 1 minute to go. Schroeder, what's he going to do? He could tie it with a 3, but he'll decide to be assertive and take it right towards the basket with some ballet moves as he got the left-handed layup to go. Finger roll finish. 53 on the game clock as we're coming down to the wire in the first half. Reed gets the dribble handoff. He tried to dump it inside to Harris, and Harris was fouled by his defender. It was on Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder today, that's just his first personal foul. 6 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And again, the Sixers playing really good out in the transition game. That's been one of the things that's been working well for them in this game specifically. 45.6 seconds to go in the first half. And Harris's first foul shot bounces about 3 times at the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and danced on in. And the Sixers lead it by 2. Oubre steps back in for the Sixers. And Harris still at the line. Tobias Harris, an 83.5 free throw shooter throughout his career. He's shooting 89.6% from the line, which is the second best of his career in regards to a season. The second foul shot, though, no good. It's 52-50 and 35 seconds to go. The Nets got the rebound. 3-point shot is up, and that's in by Schroeder, the assassin. Sixers with Payne from 3. No. KJ Martin got the rebound. Sixers still in possession. Oubre tries to drive it towards the lane, gets the ball stripped, and it goes out of bounds. It'll still be Sixers ball. So Schroeder just blocked Oubre Jr.'s 5-foot shot. They record that as a block as he tried to just slap it away. And the Sixers got the rebound. 22 seconds left. Claxton subs in for Lonnie Walker IV. 9 on the shot clock. Both teams in the bonus. Brooklyn with a 1-point lead. Payne with a lob pass to Batum. Batum back to Payne for a near corner 3. Got it! And the Sixers go back up by 2 as we ride the seesaw. 55-53. 15 on the game clock. Shot clock on blood. And Doughton playing defense on Schroeder. Schroeder dribbles over towards the right side. He's at the top of the key. A screen comes. He'll kick it out to Bridges for a 3 on the far corner, and that's what he does. Michael Bridges knocks it down from downtown. 38.5% is what he's shooting from the 3. Payne gets the inbound, and he goes flopping, but there actually is a foul called. I thought maybe he did flop, but there was a little reach-in foul by Dennis Schroeder with 1.1 seconds left in this second quarter, and more free throws coming up because both teams are in the bonus. And Cam Payne is going to go to the line. So Bridges and Payne, both former teammates, as they almost won a championship in Phoenix when they went up against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they lost to them in the finals. That was a couple of years ago. So Payne is going to the line. He'll try to tie the game. 8 points. He's 3 for 6 from the field and 2 for 5 from 3. For the tie. Yes. And now it'll be for the lead with 1.1 seconds to go. Both teams with 5 timeouts. They're both in the bonus. And 1.1 seconds to end this first half. It's been close and back and forth. The type of basketball game that you would expect. Second foul shot. Swish. And it's now back to a 1-point lead for the Sixers. Inbound goes to Finney-Smith. Stolen back by Cam Payne. The shot's up, and that's going to do it. He airballed it, but the Sixers, as they ride the seesaw, well, the pendulum swung in their direction to end the first half. And let's see what half number 2 has in store. 57-56 at the Barclay Center. Sixers lead it by 1. What's up? What is going on? Grace says, wake up, Sixers. All right. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell icons, and that way you'll know when I upload by more than one. Well, okay. So thoughts on this game. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad about this start compared to probably you guys, because Tyrese Maxey was not playing today because of the concussion protocol. If you remember correctly, he got hit in the head in the last game, but ended up coming back into the game against Dallas. That was on Sunday afternoon, and because the Sixers are playing a back-to-back, they want to be cautious for Tyrese Maxey. So he's not playing out there tonight. And I think that the Sixers are doing a good job with the ball movement. There's been some sloppy basketball, but with Tyrese Maxey being out, you're missing speed. So that changes a lot of things. Maxey is the fastest guy mostly all the time on the court. So that changes your whole entire offense and your offensive sets. And I think that we have a pretty even scoring dispute between Harris, Payne, Oubre, Hield, and I like the balance. So I'm more looking at that tonight and just seeing how the offense clicks. Yes, they're not getting the rebounds that they should be getting, but at the same time, I think that they're playing very good back and forth basketball. The pace looks really good. Tobias Harris, I know that it's against a smaller power forward, but he's doing his part. 10 points, 5 rebounds. He's 4 for 8 from the field, and he's 1 for 3 from 3. So I'm happy about that. Payne has made a couple of really nice threes. He also got a really nice steal at the end. Kyle Lowry has made such a big impact in this game so far, and it's just night and day that he has to be the primary point guard of this team. The ball movement looks great through his hands. Guys are getting into the right spots. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. Is it kind of frustrating that we're losing to the Nets? Or, sorry, that we're only winning by 1 against Brooklyn? It's a little bit annoying, but I still think that the Sixers are doing some really good things today. Without Maxey, without Embiid, without Melton, and without Covington. So, again, 4 guys out. Can't forget about that. Because that does change a lot of things. Bamba has 4 points in this game. I'm actually going to pull up the box score for you guys. Again, if you are new and just tuning in, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. The Sixers are on a back-to-back. They play tomorrow night at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. So here is the box score so far. We'll keep control plussing. So that way you guys can see. There we go. I think you guys can see that clearly right now. What's up, Larry? What's good, my guy? Thanks for coming on here. He says hi, Grace. Katie says what's up to you, too. All right, so the Sixers, they're shooting 50% from the field. They're 8 for 19 from 3. I will say that you kind of do wish that they do a better job of closing out on the defensive side and not allow Lonnie Walker IV to just make all these threes. I was going to say something before about Lonnie Walker IV, and then it had to do with how many threes he made in the last game versus the Sixers, and I could not pull that up in time. I was going to try to go back to it, and then I forgot. But Walker made a lot of threes in the last game that he played against the Sixers, and I think it's safe to say that he's one of those guys that just does so well against the Sixers. There are some guys in sports that just do so well against you. And I remember, like a prime example of that was Julio Lugo. If Julio Lugo played against the Sixers, if he played against the Phillies every single time, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Matt Diaz, another guy for the Atlanta Braves. There were certain quarterbacks that did really well against the Eagles and certain hockey players that did really, really well against the Flyers. Bad example is Sidney Crosby, but even the point is that a guy that's really not known as a very good player just shines against any sort of, Sixers or Philadelphia team. I'm not saying that Lonnie Walker IV is a bad player, but he's a role player. And he's an average type of an NBA player, and he's been doing really well over the last 3 games against the Sixers. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I'm still a little train lagged. Had a 29-hour train trip. Wow, that's crazy. When did you get home, if you don't mind me asking, my guy? When did you get home? Here's the box score for the Sixers bench. Oubre is 11 points off the bench. And all 11 points actually came in the first quarter. He had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's a -1, but he's been doing some really good things out there for the Sixers. He had a big 3 that was made. That was nice to see at the end of the first quarter. I remember that's when it was. And then here is the box score for the Brooklyn Nets. Dorian Finney-Smith, 5 points for him. It feels like he should be having more. I don't know why. I feel like he has more rebounds. I think that he's doing a good job at boxing out Paul Reed and Mo Bamba every time I'm watching him out there. That's why he's +6. Cam Johnson, 6 points for him. He had a 3 during the late part of the second quarter, I remember. Mikal Bridges has not had the best game. He's been the leader for the team, or the leader of the pack, if you will, in scoring for them. And he just has 8 points tonight. I think that the Sixers did a good job at trying to focus more on him as, trying to take him out of his game, and I appreciate that. But now they got to try to figure out how to stop Lonnie Walker the fourth because, look, he has 11 points. He's leading the team in scoring. He's 3 for 4 from 3. You've got to find ways to shut him down. The bench has been the biggest difference in this game in regards to the Brooklyn bench. They've been doing a very good job. If you look at Smith Jr. and Lonnie Walker the fourth combined, they're plus 34. And that's not a coincidence. Smith Jr. is doing a good job at being very feisty. He's been getting a lot of steals. He has 2 steals in this game so far. There were a couple that he had off of Kyle Lowry. Very scrappy player. And, he's been around for a little bit now. And this is the third team that he's been on. So getting some quality minutes for Ben Simmons and some of these other guys that are out, Cam Thomas. And, he's getting some good minutes tonight. What else do we have going on? Thursday night is when he got back. Wow, that's wild. Thursday night. Thursday night's when you got back? Wow. We're going to take another sip of water. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this game? What did the Sixers need to do in the second half in order to adjust to this Brooklyn offense? I'm going to go to the team stats really quickly so that way you guys can see how both teams are doing in regards to just this game. I'm going to try. Come on. Please. Pretty, please. Nope. Okay, we got to back out. Okay. We'll go to team stats. That's better. Okay. Can you guys see this? We'll have to control plus again. Okay. That's better. So the Sixers are shooting 50% from the field, as I mentioned. Both teams are shooting pretty well from 3. There's not really much separation at all whatsoever. Same thing from the foul line. Their Sixers are getting out-rebounded by 4. It feels like they're actually getting out-rebounded by 8 or 9. But the fact that it's only 4, I guess that's good. Because it felt like that they could have gotten more rebounds. And they had some missed opportunities. Some careless turnovers in the first quarter, especially. And, again, part of that is because of no Tyrese Maxey. Let's not forget about that. Because Tyrese Maxey is a very big part of the offense. But there were some really bad mistakes made by Kyle Lowry and just miscommunication breakdowns, if you will, between him and Toby. I remember one specifically. Then there was another one where Bamba got the ball underneath the rim, and then the ball came loose and it went out of bounds, and Bamba should have had it, but it slipped out of his hands or something like that. So I thought that was something that kind of kept Brooklyn involved, and that's why they went on that 8-0 run for about 2 minutes. It was during that first quarter. And I thought that was where the Sixers honestly could have just put the fuel on and tried to really take Brooklyn out of this game, but that moment they were not able to. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons why Brooklyn is still involved in this, and it's as close as it possibly is. They've only had 7 points off of Brooklyn's turnovers. They're getting a lot of points in the paint, both teams, that is, and that's something that you would expect, even though the Sixers have more guards out there. They still, with the forwards that they have, KJ Martin playing some time, Mo Bamba, Paul Reed, all those guys, and even Oubre, they're getting a lot of their points in the paint, and I think that's great, and that's a really good thing for them. So 22 in the paint for them. They got to continue to just keep that up. The largest lead that the Sixers had was 14, if you remember correctly, during that second quarter. And again, when you take your foot off the gas pedal to this team or to any team in the NBA, that can come back and bite you. So that's the box score for this game. I do want to take a look at the standings one more time so that way you guys can see this for yourselves. This is the Eastern Conference right now. So I will make sure that I get this as clear as I possibly can for you guys. Okay, so there we go. So this is the top 6 teams in the East. So Boston has the 1. Milwaukee has the 2. Cleveland is in the 3rd spot. They're now 1 game behind Milwaukee, and Milwaukee has played 1 more game compared to Cleveland. And what else? Then the New York Knicks are a half a game above the Sixers. And the Sixers have 2 big games coming up in New York that are back-to-back next week. So they have got to make sure that they try to tie the season series up if they want to try to potentially win a tiebreaker for that. So that would be really nice. But it's so close between the 4th and the 8th seed. Look right here, guys. The New York Knicks compared to the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are just 2.5 games behind the New York Knicks for 4th place. The Pacers have been sliding. They're 5-5 over their last 10 games. But that's how close it is. And if the Sixers want to stay out of the play-in tournament, they're going to have to continue to just try to win as many games as they possibly can without Embiid. And we did get some news about Joel Embiid. He did start training, which is really good. And he started putting in some work on the court. So they're going to reevaluate his knee next week, and this was according to a source on ESPN. And Philly Take with RB and also running back Philly, DJ Eastwood, they posted their thoughts about it yesterday. But that's a very good sign that he is officially putting in the work now. According to Nick Nurse, he's been lifting the same. I'm still trying to figure out what that means, but that was part of the quote that they were talking about, that he is lifting at 100%. That was really the quote. So, but all signs are pointing in the right direction for Joel Embiid to at least come back before the end of the season. There have been reports that they're trying to get him back at the end of the month. And for what I know right now, the progress is good. And the fact that he's starting to, get back into game shape, that's great to hear. So I do like that, but not trying to be too optimistic, not trying to be too negative. We just have to take it one day at a time, see how his knee is next week, and just see what the medical staff continues to say. Because, again, if the Sixers get him back, that changes everything. So... And you put him in a lineup with Kyle Lowry and Buddy Hield and Campaign with all those ball handlers, that's fantastic. So that would be absolutely something. And the Sixers would then be a tough out. But stay out of the play-in tournament. Do not jump down to the 7th or the 8th seed. If they can stay in this area here, the 4 through 6 seed, that would be amazing before the playoffs begin. All right, let's take this off, and let's do that. So this is why every game matters now. They play Memphis tomorrow night. It's a back-to-back. I know John Moran and Desmond Bane and Brandon Clark are all out, but they still have Jaren Jackson Jr. It doesn't matter who they play. Coming up on the schedule, they got to get these wins. So the first half summary, you got Kelly Oubre Jr., who had 11 points in the first quarter, had 4 rebounds and 2 assists to end the first half as well. He did a really good job helping the Sixers out, but the Sixers have been getting a lot of good scoring from Tobias Harris, from Campaign, Buddy Hield, and it's been very balanced and not a dominating performance by one specific player. And now we're just about ready to start off the second half. We got to update the scoreboard. We'll do that right now and refresh things. So it's 57-56. The Sixers have the ball because they lost the tip-off, and we immediately have a whistle after about 11 seconds. And it'll be against, I think it's going to be against Mikal Bridges. That's what it's pointing towards because of the camera angles that are being shown. So Claxton got called for a personal foul, and all of a sudden, before the inbound was made, Mo Bamba got called for a charge. It was really an illegal screen that was set before the inbound, and, well, there's a turnover by the Sixers. Not the way that you want to start off the second half, and Bamba has to get back on defense here. So Schroeder trying to take it right towards the cup, bounce pass back outside to Smith. It was to Dorian Finney-Smith, and there's a shot that goes up. That's no good. The Sixers are able to get the basketball back. Tobias Harris has it, and he lost the ball. So Harris was trying to just dribble down towards the Sixers lane, and he lost it. And another turnover by the Sixers, already their second turnover in literally 30 seconds. So Harris just stepped out of bounds. Actually, that's really what happened, but then he lost the ball after that. So here is Schroeder. Dribble handoff from Claxton to Walker. Got to keep your eyes on him. And, well, the Sixers don't, and that's what happens. Walker got right to the cup. Bamba just got right past Bamba. It made it look so easy, and it's 58-57. He got the right-handed layup to go. Lowry on the pick and pop to Payne for three on the far corner. Too strong. And Bridges leaps up and grabs another rebound. He has a lot of them tonight. Schroeder gets it over at the Toyota sign. Dribble handoff back to Claxton. And Claxton stops on the dime. He's being guarded by Bamba as the dribble handed off to Walker the fourth. They dribble around the timeline. Walker the fourth tries to find Claxton. And because Bamba was being drawn up against Walker, well, that's what you call playing chess while the Sixers are playing checkers. Because a layup was good, and they got a little mismatch from Claxton. Claxton was being guarded by Payne. Here's Bamba, who gets it down low, misses a bunny, and a rebound goes to Bridges. Wide open shot that he probably should have made. Three-pointer by Schroeder, no good. A rebound goes to Claxton, but we have a loose ball foul on the Sixers. Can't tell who it's on just yet. I was thinking that it may be Kyle Lowry, but this is just not a good thing for the Sixers. Lots of careless basketball, lots of turnovers, and Bamba being a really big problem out there. Not what you want to see, a three-point lead by Brooklyn. The loose ball foul was called on Lowry. That's his fourth. Schroeder at the foul line puts up a J, and Buddy Hield corrals his miss. Hands it off to Harris. It's Harris, Bamba, Hield, Lowry, and Payne out there for Philadelphia. A pass to Hield. Lowry back to Harris with 10 on the clock. Harris wants to dance. He puts up an elbow jumper, puts it up, and it's a little short. It bricks off the front of the rim. Schroeder trying to drive it in towards the lane. Has to kick it out to Bridges for a catch-and-shoot three, and that's off the mark. It was from the right side. Sixers going from right to left. Lowry back to Hield. Hield will try to slice and dice. Goes up with a shot. They wanted the goaltending call. They don't get it. Walker comes back up with it and shoots off the dribble. And he can't get that one to fall. Long rebound by Toby. Lowry to Harris. And Toby doesn't know what to do with it. Tries to find Bamba down low. And Bamba's runner is up. It was actually a little hook shot. And he'll try to go to the line for two. Oh, Bamba, man. Not so good in this second half so far. Made a couple of really bad turnovers. And Walker just got by him. I mean, it's like you could just put a cone out there and he could just whiz by you. So it's 60-57. Sixers do get the inbound. Here's Lowry off the catch and shoot for three. Got it! Nothing but net for Kyle Lowry. And we're tied 60-60. Kyle Lowry is a bucket. That's what he does. He's a very good shooter. 8:50 left to go in quarter number three. Schroeder tries to dribble it towards the lane and goes up with a high arcing runner over Bamba. Got it. 62-60. Lowry getting defended by Schroeder. Dribble handoffs all the way to Oubre. Back to Harris. Harris steps into a mid-range J. And Claxton is able to grab his rebound. Or grab another rebound, that is. 8:25 left in the third quarter. Wide open three is up by Finney-Smith, and he knocks it down. The Sixers could not close out at the top of the key, and Dorian Finney-Smith is able to make the Sixers pay. He's shooting 43.5% from the field and has been shooting 49%. Or actually, sorry, that's incorrect. He's shooting about 36% from three. And a timeout called by the Sixers, and Nick Nurse wants to re-rally the troops. Lowry is in foul trouble. Yes, I think I said that before, but I probably should have rephrased that. So that's a good point that you make there. I like that. Let's see what Mr. Man-Created God said. I don't know, Grace. I think we're doing very well considering no JoJo and no Maxey. I expect to lose every game when that's the case. Anyway, I'm just going to listen and hope we can steal another dub. Yeah, I go back and forth with this because part of it is that the Sixers have to win these games if they want to stay out of the play-in tournament, which would be very huge. You do not want to have to play Boston in a round one or Milwaukee in a round one of the playoffs. So that would be nice if the Sixers. Every game now matters. There's no doubt about it. The Sixers have got to win these games, whether who's out there. With whoever's out there, a win is a win at this point of the season. But with that being said, yes, you're right. They don't have Maxey, they don't have Joel, they don't have Melton or Covington. I don't even know if they should even play Covington at this point. That's a whole nother discussion. Covington is expected to be back. I think that they said on the 10th, or was it the 16th? It was one of those days I saw on the ESPN app, but somebody can correct me with that. But regardless, if Covington's not going to stay healthy, what's the point of keeping him? That's just how I think. But just to tie it all back together, yes, you have to win these games, and yes, you're missing a lot of pieces in your starting lineup, but you still need to have a good game from Toby. You still need to have a good game from Lowry, and you should be able to get this win. You still should. You're playing a team that's 24-37 and doesn't really has a lot of question marks about their future. They don't know what they're doing from top to bottom. Sean Marks hasn't really done a good job just making this team. They had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden like a year and a half ago and had that big three, and all of a sudden it's like Ben Simmons, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Mikal Bridges. And Bridges is good, but he's not a superstar, you know? Lonnie Walker IV is playing like a superstar tonight. 13 points. He's 3 for 5 from 3 and is 5 for 10 from the field, and his 2 rebounds. Just continues to really be a very good shooter. RB just tweeted out, should I go back on vacation, Tobias? Because he was doing really well without him. Lowry catches, shoots, puts up a 3. They got the look, but Lowry could not hit from downtown. Finney-Smith with the board. Schroeder on the drive to the basket past Oubre. And he gets his way to go. Oh, my gosh. Kelly Oubre just could not stay in front of him. And Dennis Smith Jr. beat him to the punch at the cup, 67-60. And the Nets now on a 9-3 scoring run. Harris is trapped in front of the logo. Hands it off to Lowry. 8 on the shot clock. 7:40 left to go. Lowry to Harris at the foul line, being guarded by Lonnie Walker IV. Takes a couple jab steps and puts up a turnaround jumper. And it's short. Not a good look. Not a good shot. And another rebound goes to Walker IV. That's his 4th rebound of the day. Walker gets it back from Schroeder. Dribbles around the screen set by Claxton. Runner is up over Bamba. No good. Thank God. The Sixers get the rebound. It was Tobias Harris. Outlet pass to Lowry. Lowry trying to reward Harris for the rebound. Harris decides to pass it inside to Bamba. And he gets blocked by Nick Claxton. Pretty predictable. Bamba didn't even try to go up with a little jab step. Nothing. And Claxton knew that he was just going to go up with a little runner. So it was blocked, and Mikal Bridges with a little skip pass to Walker. Walker drives it in towards the lane. Got elbowed from Bamba, and a rebound by Oubre Jr. off of his miss. Oubre thought about stepping into a three-point shot and gives it away to Harris. Hield with the basketball at the logo. Wants to dance on Walker. 8 on the shot clock. He wants to get going towards the rim as he tries to part the Red Sea. Claxton thought he blocked it. Are they going to call goaltending? I don't think so. I think that they're just going to call a foul on Nick Claxton. Well, thank you, Larry. Many don't imagine that. Yeah, it's a great name. It really is. That's true, JJ. But kind of putting the cart before the horse. We can all hope we get a favorable seed. Hey, anything's possible. 67-60, and Hield knocks down the first foul shot. So the Sixers trail by 2 possessions, and now Paul Reed will sub in for Mo Bamba. That's the right move because Bamba was definitely a huge minus out there for the Sixers, and you got to try to just utilize what you got, and hopefully Reed does a better job on the defensive side, and even offense too. 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists for Buddy Hield, and make it 11 points as he makes both free throws. All right, so Dennis Smith Jr. and Jalen Wilson also back in there for the Nets. It's Harris, Lowry, Hield, Reed, and Oubre Jr. for Philadelphia. Claxton parts the Red Sea, goes down memory lane, and is able to get it to go with a little dunk. And I say memory lane because the last time when he was going up against Paul Reed, Reed was not going back to the rim, and Claxton, I thought, had a wide open lane to go and decided not to do it. But this time, on the same type of a play, he did it. Harris trying to get the steal off the bad pass by Claxton. It goes into the backcourt, and with 4.9 seconds on the shot clock, it'll go out of bounds towards the Sixers baseline. And that's where the Nets have to inbound it with 4.9 seconds left. So Claxton, that's just a beautiful offensive play set up by Kevin Ollie. Again, he took over for the head coach, Jack Vaughn. So he's the interim head coach now for the Brooklyn Nets. We have a tip-off over at center circle between Claxton and Reed. 7'1" guy going up against a 6'9" guy in B-ball. Lowry gets it, puts up a three-pointer. It's up and in! Kyle Lowry, with the shot clock winding down, was able to hit a three from outer space. 65-59, and that was clutch. Smith Jr. trying to dribble, hand it off, and it was a little fake dribble handoff to Mikal Bridges. Johnson back to Claxton at the top of the perimeter and dumps it all the way to Bridges. Bridges with a little alley-oop to Nick Claxton, and he got a little contact there, but he stepped out of bounds, and it'll be Sixers ball. They did not call a foul. Good job by Reed to just stay into his way, and the Sixers have it back, looking to go up by 3 possessions. Oubre tries to drive it in towards the lane to be a little bit aggressive, and he gets fouled. That's not a shot. It's now 69-65, so he got fouled by, I don't know who it is yet. They didn't say on the ESPN app, but the Sixers will have some free throws, I believe. I believe it was in the act of shooting. But going back to that three-pointer by Lowry, that was clutch. Just hitting that 33-foot jumper, and I mean pretty deep. I said from outer space, and that's where it was from. Oubre's first foul shot, he connects. Smith Jr. did get called for the shooting foul, and the Sixers, if you calculate it correctly, they used to call me the human calculator when I was in elementary school, but the Sixers are on a 6-2 run, I believe. Second foul shot, that's up and no good. It goes in and out. Sixers still down by a 3. 5 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Finney Smith at the top of the key, skip pass back to Claxton. Bridges gets the little dump pass, and he'll dump it off to Johnson. 5 on the clock. Johnson bounce pass to Bridges, who cuts back door and goes down with a slam. Another nice play on the pick and roll by the Brooklyn Nets, and the Sixers just can't guard that in the second half. Reed spinning, rolling, and getting the left-handed layup to go. Another pick and roll. It's been kind of back and forth between both teams in that regard. Here's Bridges on another pick and roll to the basket, and he got the layup to go, and he was fouled too. That is crazy. It's like nobody can get down low on the block and guard whoever is at the rim while there's a shooter or somebody setting up a play at the top of the key or just outside the three-point line. That's just been such a bad defensive game for both teams. They actually did not count the shot. They said that Bridges was not fouled in the act of shooting, so I stand corrected. Batum got the rebound off the bad shot by Wilson from 24 feet. Lowry has to pass it and finds Oubre. Oubre lob pass to Harris. One more to Batum, who cuts in towards the lane and gets the finger roll finish with the right hand. About 3 feet away from the basket. It's a 1-point game with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Nets have 5 timeouts. The Sixers have 4. 5-on-3 basketball. Actually, it was 4-on-3 basketball. Wilson on the drive. No. Reed outlet pass to Oubre, who goes down the lane and finishes with the flush. Reed was the quarterback. Kelly Oubre Jr. was going downhill, and nobody was on him. And the Sixers, they lead it by one. Another timeout called by Brooklyn with 3:40 left in the third quarter. Philly 500 won't read it. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. What did I miss? At least he doesn't ignore. He just calls me Mr. Man. He responds, though, 500. Oh, man, that's crazy. Truth hurts. Nah, 500 good. JJ, my favorite Sixers guy for games. Then it's DJ and RB for Sixers content. Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. What's up, DFJ? Thanks so much for coming on here. I don't like this little ninja chat tonight. It looks a little bit smaller. Nurse worked some magic during that timeout. Yeah, again, I don't know what the stats are, but every time that the Sixers call a timeout after an opening half, it just seems like that they have a response. And there has to be an advanced stat out there where after a timeout is called after the first timeout of each half, the Sixers have got to have like the most points per game in that stat, in that advanced category. They just have to, because I've never seen a team, just respond the way that they do after an opening half, like after the first timeout's called of the half. And they just respond so well. They do. And that's a testament to Nick Nurse and how great of a head coach he is. This is why he should be up for Coach of the Year. Again, it's him. And no Maxey, no Embiid, no Melton, and no Covington. And yet, I know it's the Brooklyn Nets, but again, there's no... If this was Doc Rivers, you all sound like a broken record when I say this, if you guys have been tuning into me for a while. But if this is Doc Rivers, we all know what the story would be. Probably an L. Because of the lack of adjustments when it comes to the rotations, when it just comes to in-game coaching. It matters. It all matters. So, that was an early timeout, too. Yep, it was. And, look, he sees that Mo Bamba's getting cooked out there. I'll tell you another thing. We've seen Joel come back in during the fourth quarter, during the 5-minute mark, and all of a sudden the Sixers have to play hero ball with Doc Rivers at the head of the helm during the start of the fourth quarter. Every time that they would start the fourth quarter, it was like bench Joel Embiid for 7 minutes. And let's just stick to what we have. Nurse is saying, well, Mo Bamba's not doing a good job for these first 2 minutes. And guess what? I got to take him out. I got to try to change things up. I'm going to put in Paul Reed. And it works. 3:34 left in the third quarter. Sixers have to play defense. Brooklyn, if they get a bucket, they go back up. Schroeder with a little bounce pass all the way to Claxton. Good offensive possession by the Brooklyn Nets as Claxton threw it down. So it was Schroeder that was just cutting in towards the lane. He had to do a little handoff pass to Claxton and got some misdirection as the Sixers defense again got a little confused. Harris at the top of the key, 7 on the shot clock, goes into the lane, step back jumper from the near elbow, got it. Sixers up by 1. They're actually up 74-73. I said that Brooklyn needs a bucket to go ahead. I meant to say the Sixers. All right, 2:50 left in the third quarter. Schroeder, again, has to dribble around the timeline, skip past to Lonnie Walker IV. He's been pretty cold in this third quarter. Hopefully I didn't jinx him. Schroeder with a 3 from the top of the near wing, no good. And Payne corrals his miss. Payne to Harris. Harris to Reed at the foul line. Reed tries to fizzle his way through. Can't get it. Batum tried to get the rebound, but it landed into the hands of Claxton. Oh, I wish Batum would have hung on to that one. Schroeder gets it at the top of the key and tries to go up against Reed, and Reed has his way. He played good defense on him, and the Sixers get it back. Harris in the front court. Payne gets it at the top of the key and passes it to Oubre. Oubre with a lob pass to Tobias Harris, who's being double-teamed. That's to kick it out to Payne. 8 on the shot clock. A fourth wing 3. Bullseye! Campaign again from downtown. And that was all because of Paul Reed's defense, as he played really solid against Schroeder and stayed right on him. Watford for 2. Up and in from the baseline. Back to a 2-point game with 95 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Harris gets it on the low block on the left side. Takes 2 jab steps and wants to take his defender to Septa. Kicks it out to Batum. One more to Oubre for 3. And it bounces 3 times. No good. Harris with the offensive rebound, and he got it. Harris got the layup. Nobody knew he was cutting right through. He said, give me the ball, and I'll put it up and in. 1:10 left to go in the third quarter. Walker on a drive. It goes up and in, and Reed almost blocked it. Maybe he got a little piece of it, and it still went in, but nonetheless, it's back to a 2-point game. 55 seconds to go in the third quarter. Payne stopping on a dime. Passes it to Harris, who's over towards his right side. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Harris with 2 jab steps. And he tries to pass it out to Payne again. 3 on the shot clock. Payne with a runner from the near corner. Yes! Cam Payne has got it going on. 38.7 seconds. Cam Payne campaigning to be a starter. And Walker gets it back. He'll try to dribble around the timeline. Then he gets fouled by Kelly Oubre Jr. 33.6 seconds to go on the game clock as the third quarter is winding down. How about Paul Reed's defense leading to a big offensive bucket by Cam Payne? The Sixers were celebrating on the bench. I believe it was Ricky Council IV that did the little bow and arrow celebration that Daniel House Jr. used to do when he was in a Sixers uniform. And the crowd, the Sixers bench was going absolutely crazy. Claxton gets the inbound. Claxton has to get going. 28 seconds on the game clock. He's going up against Reed. Let's see who wins this battle. Harris comes for help for defense, and he'll tip it out. Paul Reed saves it, and it goes into the hands of Harris. Again, the Sixers locking all windows and doors on the defensive side. The shot clock's on blood. Payne gets it at the logo. Hands it off to Oubre. 8 seconds to go. 81-77. Oubre tries to drive it in towards the baseline, and he throws down the dunk. He drew the double team and said, let me go through and part the Red Sea. 83-77. Walker gets it, puts up a 3, and he banks it in. The shot counts. It was a buzzer beater. How could the Sixers not even defend that? Walker got the 3 at the top of the key and just banked it in. And the shot counted. And it's a 3-point game as we go into the fourth quarter with a lot of action in the final frame. That is crazy. He just banked it in. The Sixers couldn't get back on D. What's going on, man? Crazy. JJ with the advanced analytics. He is the human calculator. JJ low-key dropping bombs about when you'd prefer the nurse over the doc. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys swipe that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell icons, and that way you know when I upload. Nurse is greater than doc. Why didn't I not think of that? That man was pretty good, Mr. Man. No defense. I can't believe it, man. How could you leave? Again, he's been shooting so well from 3 tonight. You're not even going to guard the inbound, and you know that they're going to do a full court pass, and Walker's just left wide open, banks in a 3, and it was just with ease. Come on, man. 3.1 seconds were left on the game clock, too, so they had plenty of time to just throw it down the court. You got to play defense. Huh. I can't believe Oubre got that dunk, though. That was awesome. What a game, man. That was fun. That was pretty fun to call that action. All right, I'm going to ask you a 76ers trivia question, and if you get it right, you'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this. All right, so today's question, today is March 5th. It's Tuesday. I want to know which forward was, what forward who was drafted number 1 overall by the Nets in 1990 averaged 18.1 points per game for the Sixers in the 96-97 season. It's a tougher one, man. I don't know where they came up with these, but all right, I'll ask it again. What forward who was drafted number 1 overall by the New York Nets in the New Jersey Nets in 1990 averaged 18.1 points per game for the Sixers in the 1996-97 season. All right, first answer, Keith Van Horn. Second answer, Coleman. That's correct. Derek Coleman was the right answer. And Mr. Man Created God, shout out to you, you got it. Nice job. Thank you for playing 76ers Trivia with us today on this beautiful Tuesday night. Brooklyn has the ball to start things off in the fourth quarter. The Sixers lead it by 3, and immediately after about 9 seconds, we have a whistle called. Mikal Bridges back in for Brooklyn. The Sixers have 3 guys come in. It's Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, and KJ Martin. The foul was called on Batum, and the inbound goes back to Mikal Bridges. Bridges going up against Buddy Hield. He puts up a 2, and it's a little short. Rebound by Philadelphia. Oubre Jr. hands it off to Lowry. Lowry gets a pump fake, hands it back off to Oubre, who tries to slice and dice towards the lane and pass it to KJ Martin, but it goes off the hands of a net, and the Sixers retain possession. So they do indeed keep possession. 29 seconds into this fourth quarter. Hield underneath the basket finds Lowry, and Lowry back to Buddy Hield, who was over on the far corner, takes it all the way towards the baseline, can't get the jumper to go, and Brooklyn comes up with another rebound. That was Nick Claxton. That's his 7th, I believe, on the day. We have a shot that goes up and a foul called against KJ Martin, the athletic forward who was traded as a part of the James Harden deal. That would send Martin, Morris Sr., Covington, Batum, and a couple of draft picks to Philadelphia earlier this season. Dorian Finney-Smith will enter in for Nick Claxton, and Dennis Smith Jr. is in there for Jalen Wilson, who will take a seat. So that's the second personal foul. The Sixers can't get too fancy here. Claxton gets it back and swings it around, finds Walker, the 4th. Walker going up against Hield, and he gets called for the travel. He picked up his pivot foot. I could not tell, but there was a signal from the ref, and he did so. He definitely did, and you can't do that. That's illegal. Good job by the ref to just notice that. Walker was trying to get Buddy Hield, and Lowry was actually coming over to the rescue. He was just inside the foul line, and he picked up that left foot. That was his pivot foot, and the Sixers get it back. Lots of dribble handoffs here. Lowry thought about taking the 3, gets a pump fake. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Lowry from the logo has to pass it to Buddy Hield. Hield will try to drive it in towards the lane. Got it! Buddy Hield trying to get going to start off the fourth quarter, and finally the Sixers strike first. Schroeder inside, and a runner is up and no good, but tipped back up and in by Finney-Smith Jr. The first shot attempt was by Dennis Smith Jr., and Finney-Smith Jr. finished it with the 2. 85-82. 5 offensive rebounds for the Sixers, but they've allowed 9 offensive rebounds to Brooklyn. 10 on the shot clock, 10-11 left to go in the fourth quarter. Oubre on the near wing at the three-point line, takes it all the way to the foul line, goes up with a runner over his defender, and he nails it. A line drive laser by Kelly Oubre Jr. The 9-foot shot was good. Sixers back up by 5. 18 for Oubre. He had 11 in just the first quarter alone. More pick-and-roll offense, and the Sixers get caught asleep at the wheel once again. It's 87-84. Dennis Schroeder just got the layup to go, and Dorian Finney-Smith got the apple. 87-84. Oubre on the near wing at the three-point line. Bounce pass to KJ Martin. The defense gets caught sleeping, and a 180 dunk by KJ. That was awesome. Nothing too fancy about the dunk, or too flashy, if you will, but it was just a routine 180 dunk that he just made. 89-84. Again, good job by the Sixers to just take that into consideration and attack in the post. Schroeder going up against KJ Martin. Good defense by KJ. He has to kick it out to Bridges. 2 on the shot clock. I don't think Bridges realizes how much time there is. Goes up with a shot, no good, and that's gonna be a shot clock violation called on Brooklyn. Mikal Bridges, I don't think he realized how much time was left on the shot clock. He was over on the left wing and just did not get going until about 1 second left. And it didn't even hit the rim at all whatsoever. It's 89-84 with 9 minutes left to go. The Sixers have put up 6 points in this fourth quarter. They actually add a second on the game clock, and the Sixers get it back now. All right, so Kyle Lowry out there for the Sixers. He's the point guard. He dribbles it towards the front court, and a bounce pass to Buddy Hield. Dribble handoff to KJ Martin. Martin back to Hield. Hield to Oubre for three on the near wing. Bullseye! Kelly Oubre Jr. again. That's now his second straight game with 20 points. He has 21, 5, and 4, and is 8 for 14 from the field. Walker passes it to Mikal Bridges. Bridges in this ballgame with 10 points puts up a prayer for 3 and gets fouled. He did not make the shot. There were 7 seconds on the shot clock, and KJ Martin, he should know better. He got called for the foul, I believe. But going back to Kelly Oubre's 3, well, now he's starting to feel himself. We have a timeout called. KJ Martin got called for the shooting foul, and I believe that the Sixers are going to challenge this, and they will. So they call for time right now, and the Sixers will have the refs go back to the scorers table. It's actually going to be listed as an official review. ESPN says it was a timeout call, but NBC Sports Philadelphia says something different. Okay. How do you foul on that shot? Well, I didn't really see, to be honest with you, I didn't really see a lot of contact in real time. But to be honest, now that I really think about it, Oubre wasn't necessarily in the frame, so I couldn't necessarily tell. Let's see here. Okay, so I was looking at the scorers table to see what they were seeing, and now they just switched over to another shot. So it's an official review. KJ Martin got called for the shooting foul. Okay, now they're showing the replay. Let's see. It looked like, I guess, from that angle that he did foul him. He made contact with the right shooting hand. You can't do that. Even if they overturn that, KJ has to know better. Because, again, there have been a lot of calls now on these closeouts that have, where the offensive player has more leeway, and the defensive player, it's tough. Austin Krell just tweeted out, this is the best exhibit of decision-making Oubre has had in his time with the Sixers. Not rushing, hunting size, mismatches, pretty methodical 20-piece. It is. It is. It's definitely a good game for him, and if the Sixers win, he deserves to be player of the game. 92-84, 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the final quarter. The Sixers are in Brooklyn at the Barclay Center. So the call is being made right now. Again, it's hard for me to just read lips. So I got to wait and see what I see Nick Nurse shaking the head, so I believe that there is a shooting foul called on KJ Martin. And again, that was just an official review. It's actually a flagrant foul. How's that a flagrant? It's a flagrant foul 1. What? The ref initiated the review, and the call was overturned, so it was to a flagrant foul. And so that means that we'll have 2 free throws, and then Brooklyn gets the ball back. I would like an explanation for that. Actually, 3 free throws because it was a foul in the act of shooting from the 3. So Bridges makes the first foul shot. He makes the second one. This could really be a 6-point play. That's ridiculous. And Nick Nurse absolutely irate with the ref, trying to get all in his face. His face was turning a little bit red, and now he just walks back over towards the bench. Bridges knocks down all 3 foul shots. It's 92-87, and Brooklyn will still keep possession of the ball. I would love an explanation for that. All right, Bridges gets it, and he'll try to pass it back out to Dorian Finney-Smith. Smith, lob pass inside of Claxton. It's stolen away, though, by the Sixers. Nick Batum got his hand stuck in the cookie jar. It went into the hands of Lowry. Lowry back to Nick Batum. Batum to Lowry. Lowry holding on to the ball, having a staring contest with Dennis Smith Jr. Oubre on the far corner, 7 on the shot clock, has to dribble through traffic, goes up with a shot, no good. He tried to grab his own rebound, then he looked a little frustrated, but he gets back on the defensive side as Brooklyn is advancing in their front ground. 7:45 left, catch and shoot 3 is up and in, and it's 92-90 on a 6-0 scoring run by the Brooklyn Nets. Dorian Finney-Smith, DFS, hitting it from 23 feet from the far corner on the right side. 13 points for him. He's 5 for 8 from the field. Hield with a dribble handoff, and Kelly Oubre Jr. gets called for an illegal screen. He tried to set a little pick for Buddy Hield to shoot a 3, and he got called for a moving screen and another Sixers turnover. That is just ridiculous. It was the right call. That was the right call for sure. Oubre was indeed moving. Buddy Hield was trying to shoot it from the near wing as he dribbled over towards the right side. Oubre was like, let me try to give you some space, but he was moving, and he made contact with Mikal Bridges and should not have stopped there. 92-90. Brooklyn could tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Bridges on a drive, goes up with a little runner. Good job by the Sixers to box out. Nick Batum got the box out, and Kyle Lowry got the rebound. Sixers, again, trying to provide some offense. Batum, skip pass to Harris. Harris is double-teamed. He has to try to pass it. He finds Batum. Batum with a quick trigger 3 on the far corner. Off the mark. And again, Brooklyn with the basketball. All right, driving it right towards the lane. And getting fouled is Dennis Smith Jr., and Smith Jr. will try to tie the game with 2 free throws at the line as Buddy Hield got called for the foul, and the Nets call for time. Now it's getting close. That's crazy. I can't believe that they called a flagrant foul on a 3-point shot. There was no contact with the face. Nothing. I would love an explanation for that. That's usually what a flagrant foul results in. It's unnecessary roughness and an unnecessary play. And usually a lot of plays that go right towards the face, there was nothing unnecessary about that. Nothing excessive, nothing. That's just the refs being the refs. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. It's 92-90. Now all of a sudden, it's getting pretty close in Brooklyn. Of course. We have 35 people on here tuning in. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. If you guys love the Phillies as much as I do, if you love the Sixers or the Eagles as much as I do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button, guys. Sixers, they lead it by 2. They had a 14-point lead. That was their largest lead. That was just in the first half, though. And it's been pretty tight ever since then. So Philadelphia trying to sneak this one away. The biggest storyline about tonight is that there's no Tyrese Maxey, who's out with a concussion protocol. And hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. My gosh, Lindros was amazing in that. Crazy 8-line, unstoppable Fedic. Lindros and Recchi. Is that how you say it? Recchi? Is that how you say it? But yeah, guys, smite that like button and hit that subscribe button. We do like a little, we try to do this a little bit old school. We do radio play-by-play. I want to go into sports broadcasting, so if you guys really like this style, if you guys like knowing where the ball is at all times, we really try to give you the best play-by-play descriptions that we possibly can. We're always learning. We're always trying to get better. And, you know, that's how we do it on here. We need one more sub to get to 1,770. That would be awesome if we could reach that mark tonight. Anybody else tweet about that? How in the world is that a flagrant foul, says RB? Come on, man. I have no idea. It definitely changed the whole momentum. It did. And it's, I guess that according to this guy, oh, wait, no, that's not it. Okay. I thought that actually had to deal with it. But no, it did not. All right, but I just can't believe that they called a flagrant foul on that. Payne with 15 points. He's been a very big plus for the Sixers tonight. The Sixers, actually, the four of the 5 guys that are out there have scored in double figures. And Harris, he needs one more rebound to get a double-double. felt like cheating. Oh, you're talking about the Flyers. Or are you talking about that flagrant foul? Oh my gosh! Did you guys see the UNLV game for women's basketball? They won 104-44 against USU. USU. Oh my gosh! It's 92-90 as the first foul shot was no good by Dennis Smith Jr. He's not been a good foul shooter throughout his career, but he does make the second one. He goes 1 for 2 from the line, and it's a 1-point game. Lowry being guarded by Smith Jr. pretty heavily. Tried to pass it to Batum, and we have a foul called on Brooklyn. 11 seconds were left on the shot clock, and there's 6.5 minutes remaining. 6:34 to be exact. Harris, Lowry, Payne, Hield, and Batum for the Sixers. Finney-Smith, Bridges, Claxton, Schroeder, and Smith Jr. for Brooklyn. Finney-Smith Jr., Bridges, Claxton, all three of those guys have 13 points each. Lowry with a bounce pass to Tobias Harris. Harris got the ball loose, but gets it back. He's being guarded by Finney-Smith. The turnaround jumper, no good. Tobias could not finish on that turnaround fadeaway. And Dennis Schroeder has it. They could take the lead now, Brooklyn, that is. Schroeder going up against Payne, tries to drive it over him, goes up with a shot, and he's fouled. Good job by Dennis Schroeder to understand that Campaign was just trying to come on him and just fouled him in the act of shooting as he just bought right in with a little elbow and leaned into the little pump fake. 6:09 left to go. Brooklyn now in the bonus. That's not good for the Sixers. That is only the first personal foul, though, committed by Campaign. Again, 15 points and 3 rebounds. Schroeder knocks down the first foul shot and ties the game at 92 apiece. He's 30 years old now. Was born on September 15th of 1993 and was the 17th overall pick in the 2013 draft by the Atlanta Hawks. This year from the line, he is shooting about 86%. 92-92. This is for the lead. Schroeder puts it up and he misses it. Hield grabs the defensive board. And the Sixers could take the lead again. We're tied at 92. Hield tried to go up with a layup and he missed a bunny again. Lowry had a great pass. Hield the layup was too strong with the left hand. So Claxton gets it down low from Dennis Schroeder, and Schroeder shows Kyle Lowry how it's done. Campaign gets called for the shooting foul, and Claxton makes the dunk. An old-fashioned three-point opportunity coming right up for Brooklyn. I meant to say that Claxton was trying to show Buddy Hield how it was done because Buddy just not able to get the layup. It was just way too strong. And, well, Brooklyn has just taken the lead. Claxton for the three-point play. He converts. And Brooklyn leads it by 3. The Sixers have only put up 9 points, and the Nets are on an 11-0 run. Lowry gets fouled. He was holding on to that right knee, and he will get helped up by about 3 teammates, including Payne, Batum, and Harris. It's 95-92, and Lowry will just try to walk that off. Yikes, when you have Dennis Smith Jr. going up against you, a guy that's really physical and provides a lot of athleticism. It's not so fun when you twist and when you knock into legs with him or knees. Lowry gets it, passes it to Harris. 10 on the shot clock. Harris back to Lowry. Harris trying to set a little screen. 7 on the shot clock again. Lowry wants to get going. Stops on the dime. 3 on the shot clock. Puts up a foul line jumper. Can't get the friendly bounce. It was a tough shot, but he almost made it. Claxton got the rebound. He has 8 in this game. Schroeder gets tripped up by Lowry, and Schroeder turns it over. He lost his footing, and I thought maybe he got tripped up, but nope, he just slipped. Campaign gets it over on the near wing. The inbound was made by Lowry. Batum back to Payne. Payne inside to Oubre to the post, and he puts it up and in. So the Sixers able to play defense. Schroeder just lost the dribble. It went out of bounds towards the Brooklyn baseline, and the Sixers cut the deficit back down to 1. It's 95-94. Bridges kicks it out for a wide-open three by Dennis Smith Jr., and the basketball gods say no. Batum grabs the miss, and Lowry and the Sixers front court tried to hand it off to Harris, and it's stolen away by Dennis Smith Jr., who goes down with a 360 dunk. He twirls and twists. It's 97-94. Lowry saying, my bad, because he should have never just handed it off that time, because Dennis Smith Jr. was just right there, and he just got the little handoff and was like, I'll just take that. And that's what he does, showing off his athleticism and showing off what he can do to the rest of the Brooklyn fans as they erupt. Timeout called by the Sixers as they're down by 3. NHL playoffs are the best. NHL playoffs are fun. I will say that. You're not wrong. Let's take a look at the scores. We have the scores up here for you guys, but I will look at the scores right now. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell icons, and that way you'll know when I upload. But I don't follow the regular season too close other than the Flyers. NBA, you can practically call champ at season opening tip, but ball is my favorite sport, so I still follow. Yeah, man. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong about that. Boston is up by 1 against Cleveland with 36.7 seconds to go. That game's on TNT, and it's in Cleveland. So it's 104-103, 36.7 seconds left in that game. Miami only leads it by 3 against Detroit, and the Sixers could probably benefit with a Miami loss if Detroit somehow was able to get the win. Maybe former Sixers assistant head coach Monty Williams could help the Sixers out. It's 105-94 in New York. Atlanta has an 11-point lead in that game. And Indiana is up by 4 against Dallas in halftime. So we're keeping an eye on all those scores because the Sixers, between the 4th and the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, it's all so close. Toronto lost today 139-98 to the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's who the Sixers play on Friday. Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, and Zion Williamson, that big three, they've been doing a very good job. They're one of the top teams in the Western Conference. And speaking of the Western Conference, Phoenix and Denver play tonight. The Suns, it'll be Kevin Durant going up against Nikola Jokic, who's having another MVP-caliber season. That game will be at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. The Magic did win by 12 in Charlotte, so they are still, I believe that they're in 6th place right now. I have to double-check the standings. I know that things will update after this game for the Sixers in regards to that. But they're one of the top 8 teams, too, in the Eastern Conference. All right, Sixers, they're down by 3. It's 97-94. There's 4 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the final quarter of this game. No Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, no Robert Covington, and no DeAnthony Melton either. All right, so Batum gets the inbound and lobs it inside to Harris. Tobias Harris, what's he going to do? He tries to go to work, goes up with a mid-range jumper, and he nails it. That was clutch by Toby. They wanted to make an inbound play for him. He hit the turnaround J inside the foul line and got it. 16 points for him. He's 7 for 15 from the field. They have got to get him going. Sixers need a spark. Schroeder on the offensive side for Brooklyn. Harris trying to play defense on him. Schroeder passes it away to Dorian Finney-Smith, who cuts towards the rim, and he gets the layup to go. I thought maybe Tobias Harris would have played better defense on Dennis that was Dennis Schroeder, and Schroeder just decided to pass it. So here's Batum at the top of the key. A dribble handoff to Tobias Harris over at the Barclay Center. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Harris trying to go to work. What's he going to do? He dribbles over towards the right side, puts up a foul line jumper, and he nails it. Harris has scored the last 4 points for the Sixers. And 3:16 left to go. Timeout called by Brooklyn. Toby is clutch. Can you believe it? This is why he's so frustrating. This is what he has to do. Crazy. There's nothing like NHL playoffs. MLB playoffs are pretty close when you watch every pitch. MLB playoffs are fun. They really are. I agree with that. I'll tell you this, though. The NBA playoffs have gotten better over the last couple of years just because there have been some upsets. It's hard when you have a dynasty, but if the Sixers, I'm telling you, if the Sixers are a 7 seed, they could be a tough out. The Heat went to the finals last year. They were an 8th seed team. So, product-wise, it's getting better because because both conferences are more balanced. Regular season is long for both, I agree. Actually, for all three, but yeah. How about Toby, man? How about Tobias? RB just tweeted out, take us to the promised land, Tobias. Paul Hudrid just tweeted out, would be an ideal time for Tobias Harris to get going. He's coming through over the last 3 games. Wouldn't that be something? Campaign will take a seat. Lonnie Walker IV comes in for Dennis Smith Jr. after the Nets timeout. So it's Schroeder, Finney-Smith, Bridges, Claxton, and Walker IV. Reed subs in for Payne. Here's Claxton on the low block. He has to try to do something. He puts up an elbow jumper, no, and Finney-Smith was not boxed out, and he was set free, and he got the layup to go. It's 108 to 98 with 2:45 left in this game. Lowry skipped past to Batum. Batum to Lowry, who cuts in towards the lane. Nobody was on him. How about that for an offensive play call by Nick Nurse? 101 to 100. Schroeder has it at the top of the key. Oubre guarding him really closely like he's a tag. Harris now stays on him. Schroeder gets past him, and he goes to the rim and gets the layup to go. It's 103-100, 2:15 remaining. Harris has to hand it off to Batum. Schroeder with 18 points. He's 6 for 10 from the field. More dribble handoffs. Oubre at the top of the key. 2 minutes left to go. 2:05 to be exact. 5 on the shot clock. Oubre on the drive. Puts up a runner, and it does not bounce the right way. Batum trying to fight for the rebound. It goes into the hands of Oubre. Oubre goes up with it. It's blocked. It got blocked, and it was stolen back by Lonnie Walker IV. Claxton got the stop at the rim. Bridges at the foul line. Another pass out to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder back to Bridges. Bridges kicks it out to Finney-Smith for 3, and that was clutch. Dorian Finney-Smith from the near wing just feels like he has ice in his veins. It's 106-100, and Lowry at the Barclay Center sign tries to get a screen set by Harris. Lowry almost lost the dribble. Lowry's at the top of the key, hands it off to Batum for a near corner 3. That's off the mark, and the rebound goes to Claxton again. 1:16 left to go. The Sixers, they have got to get a stop here. And they're just trying, Brooklyn that is, to just milk that clock down. They lead it by 6 points. Schroeder at the top of the key, in between the circles. Tries to go up against Harris. He'll try to dribble around the timeline. 5 on the shot clock. Dribbles out towards the 3-point line on the near wing. Goes inside again with the runner. Batum grabs the miss. And Batum and the Sixers still have life. 50 seconds to go. You don't necessarily need a 3 here. Oubre tries to drive it through traffic. Goes up with a shot, and he's fouled. Claxton got called for the foul, and Kelly Oubre Jr. saying we're not done yet. 45.4 seconds to go. And Oubre just was able to draw up a double team, and Claxton elbowed him right into the wrist. And he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Sixers not in the bonus just yet. Both teams have 2 timeouts to go. 4 fouls allowed by Brooklyn. And this is to make it a 1-possession game. Oubre puts it up, and he nails it. Clutch free throw, and the Sixers have got to play defense again. 26 for Kelly Oubre. So Finney-Smith gets the ball knocked loose in the backcourt, and it'll still be Brooklyn basketball. He actually advanced right past the half-court line, and Oubre just tipped it right off of his knee, and they'll put 17 on the shot clock. 39.2 seconds left to be exact. Good defense by Oubre as he just came from behind Dennis Schroeder. And they'll have to inbound it from the net baseline. Bridges on the inbound. Finds Claxton, who will hand it off to Schroeder at the logo. 12 on the shot clock. Schroeder not getting going yet. Dribbles over towards the left. He's being guarded by Reed. Schroeder still at the Toyota side. 5 on the shot clock now. Schroeder trying to drive it. Goes up with a layup, and it makes it look too easy. Dennis Schroeder could not be stopped. It's 108 to 103, and that was clutch. The Sixers do call for time. 23.1 seconds left, and now you got to nail some threes. Man, oh man, how could they not stop him? Just goes downhill with some pizzazz. Reed didn't even try to block it. Oubre, I mean, he really couldn't, I guess, when you look at the replay, but Oubre just couldn't stop him either. That's crazy. Paul Hudrick just tweeted out, "Dear Lord, the Sixers are closing out on Schroeder like he's Tyrese Maxey." Crazy. Ay, ay, ay. How could you let him? That's just annoying. How do you give him that much attention, and yet you can't stop him right there? Come on, man. Come on. Still ain't over. Wow. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell icon, and that way you'll know when I go live. Dennis Smith Jr. will come in for Lonnie Walker IV, and Paul Reed will now take a seat. The Sixers do get to advance it into their own front court. They'll inbound it from the near sideline. Kyle Lowry will be the inbounder, and he gets the handoff from the ref. So Lowry has to pass it, finds Campaign. Campaign comes in for the Sixers. Payne will try to drive it right towards the rim, puts up a shot. That's no good. And then a foul immediately on Nick Claxton. Nobody was there down low. I don't know why, to try to back him up and get a rebound. But Claxton will go to the line, and the Sixers have got to put up some prayers now. 16.5 seconds to go, and we will walk the floor. More free throws coming up for Brooklyn in just a few moments. So Payne gets called for the foul. Claxton will go to the line. He's 4 for 4 today, and not really a guarantee for him at the line when it comes to his shooting. The first foul shot's up, and that's no good. So he missed the first one. Hopefully he missed the second one here for the Sixers' sake, and then they'll have to try to hit a 3 here and then foul again immediately. They still have 1 timeout to go. Brooklyn has 2. Claxton at the line. Second foul shot is up, and he drains it. It's 109-103. Oubre gets the inbound. Sixers have got to go up with a 3 here. Oubre on the drive to the basket goes up with a shot. He was fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. 11.5 seconds left. If you're Oubre, you have to make the first one, and then you're just going to have to intentionally miss the second one. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I don't even know why at this point you just try to drive it. I guess if you want to try to initiate contact, you're taking a gamble, but that's just the way that I think. 109-103. Oubre with the first foul shot. He puts it up, and he gets the friendly bounce. Hits the front of the rim and dances on in. All right, you're going to have to intentionally miss this one here. Let's see what the Sixers decide to do. It's 109-104. Not even Bamba's out there. Or Reed. That's crazy. So Oubre with the second foul shot. He puts it up, and he drains it. 109-105. Timeout called by Brooklyn. I mean, at that point, what do you really have to lose? I mean, you know? They decided not to go with Reed or any bigs out there, so as soon as that happened, he just figured that he was just, that Nick Nurse was like, let's not even try it. Let's not even try it. Reminiscing, and now we're going to lose to the Nets. Did Fraud Simmons even play? Simmons out. Yep, he's out. All right, it's 109-105. The Sixers, I guess if they want to have any sort of chance to try to even make it a one-possession game, they're going to have to obviously get a steal on an inbound here and hopefully try to just get a bucket. 11.5 seconds to go. Both teams down to one timeout. And both teams also in the bonus too. 11.5 seconds to go. The Sixers have really gone cold here in this fourth quarter shooting-wise. And the defense, not really much of a help either. They've allowed 29 points, which is the second most points in a quarter that they've allowed tonight to Brooklyn. And you may say to yourself, well, that's not really a lot, but a lot of the points have honestly come down during the stretch here. 109, 105, Brooklyn will inbound it from their bench. So it'll be Dorian Finney-Smith who has to try to get it off, and a foul immediately by Kyle Lowry. It took about 1.1 seconds off the game clock. And more free throws coming up for the Nets. Lowry committed the foul, and that's his fifth, so one more than he's done. Both teams, again, one timeout left to go. Mikal Bridges got fouled, and he's going to go to the line once again. Bridges about an 87% foul shooter. He's made all three of his free throws. First one's up, and he is able to get that one to go. It's 110 to 105. Lowry and Nurse talking things over right now, trying to adjust on the fly. So this would be a 6-point game if Mikal makes this one, and that's up, and he drains it. So Batum will inbound it to Oubre. Clock running. Oubre at the logo. Dribbles over towards the right side. He'll try to take it right towards the cup, and he throws down a dunk. It's 111-107. Dennis Schroeder will inbound it and try to give it up to Lonnie Walker IV, and he's fouled with 2.5 seconds to go. Again, at that point, you got to put up threes. I mean, like, there's no question about it. What are we doing here? It makes no sense. If you want to try to win the game, you got to put up threes at this point. It's like not even rocket science. So Lowry fouls out. He had 14 points, and he fouls out with 2.5 seconds, as if that even matters. It's 111-107. First foul shot, though, missed by Walker IV. Again, the Sixers do have one timeout left if they want to burn it. So Walker will try to just ice this game. Paul Reed will sub on in for Campaign. I believe another substitution came in for the Sixers as well. No, but just Paul Reed. 2.5 seconds to be exact. Walker's second foul shot. He puts that one up and in, and the Sixers call their final timeout. They took way too much time off that clock. And I don't know if Kelly was just thinking about, I mean, I don't question this, but I don't know. Got to attempt a three, just ask the human calculator. It's not even rocket science. At that point, you're down by 5, you're down by 6 with like 10 seconds left. There's like no excuses. You got to win these games. I don't care. That's a little frustrating. and that's on, that's just on Nick Nurse right there. I'm not saying that it was all his fault, but that's just annoying at that point. And then Markelle Fultz. We're talking about the process. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe. The Sixers play tomorrow night against the Memphis Grizzlies. Then they play on Friday against New Orleans, and then they have a tough schedule from there. They play 2 games in New York on Sunday and Tuesday, and then are in Milwaukee on March 14th. And that's another reason why you really had to win this game, because this is, the schedule gets even tougher. 2.5 seconds to go. KJ Martin back out there for the Sixers. Lowry did foul out. There's 2.5 seconds left. Obviously, catch and shoot threes are necessary. Batum with an alley-oop pass, and actually Martin lost it, and with 1.7 seconds to go, that's going to do it as it goes out of bounds. I don't even know why they would even attempt to do that play out of the timeout, but the Nets inbound it, and that's the game. 112-107 is the final score. A frustrating ending for the Sixers, to say the least, as they lose in Brooklyn. That's the second time that they've lost in a row to Brooklyn, and the first time in about 3 or 4 years that they've lost at the here at the Barclay Center. But the Sixers lose 112-107. Yeah, thoughts on the game? Comment down below. This was really disappointing. But before we get into our actual thoughts and our takeaways, I do want to give a post-game wrap-up here. I want to try to find the box score. There we go. So Oubre finished the game with 30 points. Is that right? Yeah, he had 30 points off the bench, which is a season high, I believe, for him. He had in 36 minutes, he had 30 points, was +3, and 4 assists and 6 rebounds. Other than that, the Sixers bench didn't really do too much in that second half. Batum did have 2 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. Also a block coming off the bench in 32 minutes. Buddy Hield went really cold in that second half. He started off strong and then got really slow and was just missing some of his shots. Kyle Lowry was hitting some big threes. That was like the only positive that I took away. He had a big turnover, though, where he tried to hand it off to Tobias Harris, and it was just not a good play whatsoever. Tobias tonight, very polarizing. So he definitely was not he didn't do such a good job down that stretch. He had two nice shots, but just overall down the stretch in that fourth quarter, he didn't really do a good job on both ends. There were a couple of plays where I saw Claxton get by him and a couple of other offensive players for Brooklyn, and he just couldn't get back on defense. Not good, and pretty disappointing overall when you think about this loss. I know that they did not have Tyrese Maxey, and people were like, well, the Sixers at least made it a close game. I don't care. At this point, you got to win these games. I don't care who the opponent is, and the Sixers are not that much different of a team compared to Brooklyn with the rosters that they both have. So this was a winnable game. This was a winnable game, and these types of games can come back and bite you at the end of the regular season. That's just the truth. We'll pull up the box score for you guys so that way you guys can see it. Here is the Sixers box score here. Whoops, wrong one. Sorry about that. There it is, right there. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. Please let me know what your thoughts are down below. Great call, JJ. Certainly disappointed. I'm negative from the jump with no JoJo or Maxey, but honestly expected the dub. Me too, man. Appreciate the lock all doors and windows go zoom off call. Did I say that? I apologize if I did, because honestly, you really shouldn't be doing that. Like, I really shouldn't be doing that. If I did do that, shout out to Mark Zumoff because he's the best. One of my favorite announcers of all time. So, windows and doors, but you know. That's, all right, good. Windows and doors. Still the same thing. Embiid hasn't lost to the Nets since March 10th of 2022. That's a good stat. I'm happy that you brought that up. But yeah, not a good loss for the Sixers. This was a winnable game. You had the momentum, and in the fourth quarter, they overall just took their foot off the gas pedal, and they made some really bad turnovers just to start off the game and at the end of the fourth quarter, too. They couldn't close out on Schroeder. I don't know why. Schroeder was just beating them on all facets on the defensive side, and even when they put bodies on him, you got to close him out. You know he's going to drive it to the lane. You gotta do something about that, man. Bamba to start off the second half was atrocious. I'll say that too. 4 points for him, 3 rebounds, 1 block, 2 turnovers. He was a -4. He was really bad. Harris was minus as well. If you were in the plus category tonight for the Sixers, you're the only ones that did well. Kyle Lowry did well, and Kelly Oubre Jr. did well, even though I questioned at the end why he's going to the rim and he's not taking the 3. Again, that's on Nick Nurse. I don't know if that's necessarily on him, even though he should know what what the situation is and situational awareness and that type of stuff. But I can't really get on them too much. But other than that, this team definitely lost an opportunity. They lost an opportunity to capitalize on, and they should be 36-26. I'll be honest. I'm pretty disappointed and annoyed that they could not get the job done. 14 for Lowry. Bamba, as I mentioned, at 4 points and 3 rebounds. Campaign at 15 points and 3 rebounds, 1 assist. I expected him to get some more playing time. There was a time where Nick Nurse, I wanted to also mention this too, where he went with Doughton Jr. Doughton Jr. was a -6, and every time he was out there initiating the offense, that was not good either. So he wanted to see what he had in Doughton Jr., if he had anything in him, and there's nothing there. He was getting beat on defense. He wasn't making the right passes. Shot was too slow, and you really can't play him. But yes, you're a little bit off because Tyrese Maxey's not there. So you wanted to try something new. And I'm fine with you trying it against Brooklyn because you got to see what you have. I get it. And that's understandable. But 6 minutes, I guess that's fine when you look at it from an overall perspective. It felt like it was more minutes. It felt like it was more than 6 minutes, but he didn't look good. And he definitely cost the team on both sides of the floor in that regard. I know I'm sounding a little bit negative. Any positives to take away? Lowry shot the ball really well from 3. Thought Kelly shot the ball really well, and it's nice to see that he's getting things going and he's in a little groove himself. Harris had 9 rebounds, but it didn't really feel like he had 9 rebounds. Felt like he had like 3. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Dorian Finney-Smith had 20 points, and he had 8 rebounds in this game for Brooklyn. Cam Johnson had 6. They held Bridges. They did a good job at that. He played 38 minutes. He had 15 points. He was quiet, but you let Dennis Schroeder beat you. That was the difference in the game. 20 points for him, 8 assists. And Claxton wasn't necessarily killing you in the rebounding department, but he did have his double-double. And he did Nick Claxton types of things. I do wish that the Sixers would have gotten him at the deadline. He was one of those guys that I actually really wanted. And I heard from a couple of people that he was available, but the Sixers didn't want to go for him. I don't know if they ended up going for Drummond or not, if they wanted to try to go for him, but I really wanted Claxton. Either one of those guys. And then Walker, the fourth, killed you in the first half. But they made those adjustments on him, and he only put up like 8 points in the second half. But again, this team just didn't do a good job at staying on Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder was making plays. I know that it says that he was -5, but he's the reason why that they won that game, Brooklyn. That's the truth. What else do we have on here? Now you should. Tribute to the man, not a bad thing. Keep it in your bag. Carry the tradition on. Just reference it sometimes. I like that one. You can't reinvent the wheel, JJ. You're building on the shoulders of giants and adding rims. No shame. Great call. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. The game was all on Nurse, not taking out Lowry and Batum, who showed no off. I think you meant to say offense. I disagree with that. The only thing I criticize Nick Nurse on is just the lack of in-game adjustments when it came to the end, like down the stretch. You're down by 6 points with like 11 seconds to go. Why aren't my biggest guys out there to try to get rebounds? If Kelly Oubre gets fouled and he shouldn't be going to the rim, he needs to be taking a 3, in that moment of the game. Even if it's not the best shot, you got to live and die by it. You're putting the chips in, and you have to take the gamble there. But if Kelly's going to be aggressive and he gets fouled, you got to put in the big bodies. Why isn't Reed and Bamba out there? I'm not telling you that they're the best rebounders on the team, because they really don't do much in the rebounding department, but you at least have to try to go down swinging, my guy. And I think that he waved the white flag at the end. But then he calls timeouts. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Did you really wave the white flag or did you not? I'd be okay, or I'd be more okay if he was like, yeah, we'll wave the white flag, and we won't use these timeouts, and we're not even going to foul, nothing like that. But he didn't do that. So that's the criticism I have on Nurse tonight. But I don't think he was the biggest reason why that this team lost. I think that this team was undermanned, but they lost because, again, Toby doesn't step up, and Toby doesn't have a good first half. And then the other thing, too, is that guys are just turning the ball over, like left and right. I mentioned that Lowry had a couple of turnovers at the end. He had 3 in the game. But I don't know. I thought Lowry played a good game, but Buddy Hield just went cold. If Buddy Hield doesn't go cold, and if Campaign doesn't go cold, then maybe you win the game, you know? So it's more on the players. Not using Counsell, that's true. Now, that's a good point. I don't know if something's going on with Ricky Counsell. I forgot about that. That I forgot about. You are right about that. That is on Nick Nurse. Because Counsell has been really aggressive, and he's a guy that has that Mamba mentality. I don't know if he was available tonight or if he was in the G League tonight. But if he was available, it said that he did not play because of the coach's decision. So I assume that he was there. Yeah, I don't know why you don't put him out there. That's a good point. I will put pressure on Nick Nurse for that. Because you are right. They could not stop the pick and roll. That was the most frustrating thing. They could not stop the pick and roll. The Nets just kept spamming it. The Sixers kept spamming it. And it was like, well, until somebody decides to stop it and play defense, whoever misses a shot in the pick and roll when they're trying to give it to the center, somebody's wide open in the lane and goes down with a dunk, well, that's who's going to win. If you don't make a mistake, you're probably going to win. And the Sixers definitely did make some mistakes in that regard. And that was another thing, too. Great call, JJ. Another game lost in crunch time. We need guys like AI to pick players. Like AI. JoJo changes everything. Personally, I think it's a pipe dream this year. I hope that I'm wrong. Look, Tyrese Maxey is going to hopefully be back soon. There's Nick Nurse. He's giving this press conference. I do actually put that blame on him if Counsell was available because, yeah, you're right. He has to play Ricky Counsell the fourth. There's no doubt about that. I forgot all about that. I think picking up those 2 quick fouls hurt us, too, in the fourth because we couldn't be aggressive on defense because we were in the bonus. That's a good point that you make, too. There were actually 3 fouls, I believe, in the first minute. There were 2 in the first 30 seconds. I remember that clearly. But, yeah, when you're fouling early and you're making unnecessary contact, that's bad. The refs were also bad, too. Let's not forget about that 3-point play and them getting the ball back on the flagrant 1. I still don't understand that explanation. I would love to get an explanation from somebody that was watching it, to see how that would be a flagrant 1 because there was nothing unnecessary about it. But that was also a momentum changer, too. Let's not rule that out either. But that wasn't the reason why you lost. The Nets, I mean. Lowry stopped the run offense. Lowry wouldn't drive and pass the ball off. I think Lowry was being passive. I know that he only had 5 assists tonight, but he's not a score-first type of a point guard, right? So that's not really on him. He's not going to take a bad shot. He's going to try to put up good shots, and if they're falling, they're falling, but he's not going to chuck up shots. That's not who he is. Buddy, on the other hand, has to make his threes, and he only put up 3 3-point attempts, and that was it. That can't happen. Bamba getting into trouble, that's terrible. And that's probably why that Nurse didn't even put him back out there at the end just to try to punish him and be like, I don't want you playing if you're going to do that. I still think you should have put him out there at the end of the game when they have to try to get a rebound. You got to go with all the big bodies that you can because every game's important. He doesn't even trust Baisley. Well, Baisley's not on the team anymore, so Baisley's not even there. His 10-day contract is up, Lawrence. For Terquavion Smith, I'm not mad about Terquavion Smith not playing. I'm okay with it, but Ricky Council the fourth, you got to play him. There's no doubt about it. They did that pick and roll all the time on Lowry. Oh, when you talk about the defense, yeah, Lowry does have to be better at guarding the pick and roll, but he wasn't playing bad defense tonight. I just think that as a team that they just were not playing really good defense. Lawrence, thanks so much for the donation, my guy. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't sound enthusiastic. Lawrence, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. That's better. I had to show up a little bit more energy. Mr. Man Created God. Okay, I'm going to take more comments on here, too. He said, I'm very skeptical about Council, but I'm a lifelong 4-for-4 Philly guy. All the nice things have always blown up in my face. You're not wrong about that. Can I just ask how the gritty tuned into the city Phils got silenced by a Snakes team that not even close to their level? It'd be like this Sixers beating the Seas, supposed to be impossible. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not really going to talk about baseball on here because it's, I really try to keep it straightforward to just the sport when it comes to just post-game analysis. But, yeah, the Phillies definitely collapsed, and it was tough. It was tough to watch that. But in regards to this game, I did feel like that at some points the team did collapse, and it shouldn't have happened. Yeah, you should have won this game. This was a game that you're going up against a team that is another, middle-of-the-pack, bottom-feeder type of a team, even without Tyrese Maxey, even without Joel Embiid. You still should win this game. I figured it was going to be close. I was okay with that, but they just couldn't turn it on at the end. They need a 10-foot forward, says Lawrence. You're funny, man. You're funny. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a post-game show. I'm going to try to do a post-game show with a DFJ, and we'll try to give you some more analysis on hopefully tomorrow's win, as I hope that they get a win tomorrow. But if they split this back-to-back, then we're fine. But you really would have liked them to try to take one of these two, or if not two of these games. I thought that they could do it, but they're going to have to try to go for 1 for 2. So, all right. Love you guys. I'll catch you all in the next one. See you tomorrow night. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.